How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. Hope everybody's having a wonderful, beautiful day. How you all doing? Welcome back. Where's my cam? Welcome back. Oh, wow. We actually got it kind of not blue. It is still super overly exposed, so let me go fix that real quickly. I am going to have to go into the settings, and I think I know what I need to fix, but not 100%. Is it exposure? I think it was, right? Was it exposure? Or was it like a white balance? No, it wasn't a white balance. It was a backlight, wasn't it? Hold on. That's what I think. So if I bring this up, still look like Casper, but hey, that's about as best as it can get. How you boys all doing? Welcome back to the stream. Hope everybody's having a wonderful, beautiful day. Boys, tonight we got ourselves more 5V5 1v1 duels on the way, this time over for the region of NA. How are y'all doing? Welcome back, welcome back. We got ourselves hopefully a wonderful, wonderful evening tonight. Yesterday we had a fantastic set of duels over on the EU, and tonight for NA, hopefully we'll get to see the regular boys get in their tests to see how their builds, their current playstyles are working in the dueling setup. By this point, I imagine most people have figured out the builds, but not everyone's gotten their hands on their tier set just yet, unless you've been raiding. With Catalyst coming out really soon, and with how easy gearing is, I imagine a lot of people have decent bit of gear. And I imagine we'll start seeing more tier sets along the way. How y'all doing? Looks fine, buddy? Yeah, dude, I still gotta fix it a little bit on my end because I know I can do some stuff in the Logitech app, the G Hub, which is the Logitech thing that controls the microphone and the webcam. I could do some stuff there, so I don't have to like keep adjusting it every time I go on. Is this frame drop? No, this is actually kind of fine. Let me get the music back up and running here, boys. Also, I changed up the dueling mix a little bit, not the crazy amount. You guys are gonna still hear the same old bangers as before, but you are gonna hear some new songs, hopefully here and there. Let me hop on and start to see if we can put some groups together tonight, boys. Brings out the glorious mustache. Dude, I gotta start putting in some mustache tracks in this thing like daily. I also, my barber at this point said, dude, you got enough beard here to start putting like beard oil. You got beard oil? I was like, yeah, I do. I just forget to do it. I just gotta wake up, take a shower, and I'm like, all right, I gotta get to work. And it's like, just like take like a minute. It takes a minute. What are you doing? Just do it. Oh my god. Yo. Let's see if we can get some groups over on the region of NA. The groups are going to be listed in LFG Raids Legacy section, boys, as we usually do. I might want to adjust this little light because it's a lot closer than I normally have it, and it's like a proper spotlight now, but also it is blindingly bright. But I mean, it makes my setup, I mean, I can see my keyboard a lot easier and everything. It looks kind of like professional in a way, but at the cost of my eyesight, you know, if it's like I'm in an interrogation room, I mean, this thing is pretty close up. What I can do maybe is like push it back a little bit or something, but the way it's so it has a little like tri-fold stand, right? Three little legs that it like rests on, and it's like a big old like almost like a selfie cam type of like metal extendo thing, and there's a ring light at the top of that. That's what I use for all my lighting, is just like two tiny little ring lights. But so it's I don't have a lot of space on my table. So it's balancing on top of my external hard drive, where I put all my recordings into. Yeah, all of them. So that's kind of where that sits. So what happens because of it, it's not really like leveled. It like bounces on top of it, and it kind of has a bit of a lean, but it catches itself with one leg, so it's fine. But it ends up like, I don't know. I need to explain to you. I need to show you guys a picture to explain it better. Yo, flaming fix. Oh, fix. Flex. Oh, wait, hold on. You are flaming. It's just the X, and it confuses me every single time. How you doing, my guy? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Are we getting the goods up and running? Does anybody already have a group ready, by the way? Or am I the first one making them? Either way, if you guys want to join us for 5V5 1v1 duels, we got a groups right here over. How do I see you out here, by the way, flaming? How do I see you? Is your name actually flaming, or is it supposed to be flexming? Like, what is it actually supposed to be? Like, do I get it right? Do I get it wrong? Where to go? Hope I get it better. Hope I get better from last week. Been practicing? Yo, my guy. That's all it's about. The 5V5 1v1 duels, getting back in there every freaking single time, man. Flaming? I can do that. Yeah, but people call me Flex. I can do Flex too, but we have Flexing, which is a survival hunter over on the region of NA. That's another guy that we actually haven't seen in a good while. Hi, Dal, what's up, Ashley? How you doing, fam? Hope you're having a good one. Flaming, are you starting a group? Do you want to join one? Because we got a one. We need 2 more bodies for this one, and then we got to make a second group. I don't know if somebody, if anybody's making a second group for 5v5 1v1 Duels, let me know. And I'll just let you guys be the ones making that group. I'm just going to be hosting this one then. If that's the case. Rock the goatee. I rock the goatee. Dude, I just kind of want to... I always wanted to go for like a full beard and just let it grow in length, see where it gets to, right? So that's what I'm doing. Me and my barber, at best, we're shaping it. We're taking stragglers that run away, and we're cutting them back, but not really trying to shorten the beard itself. I'm just letting it grow. Because I feel like I'm going to be one of those dudes that hits my 80s, and I'm going to start losing hair, and I'd rather have a full-on beard, you know. I'm in that 78 now. I'm getting towards that level 80 IRL. Yo, Amarok, we got ourselves a one whole team right then and there. Do I have any of you guys added on Real ID, by the way? Do I have any one of you added on Real ID? Because we got a full team. I don't think I have a single one of you added on Real ID. But I can make one of you lead, start a second group, get them filled up, and then I'll queue you as a lead versus lead, and then we're good to go. Who do I add here? Flamin', you want to be the guy? Want to be the man? All you have to do is just keep me updated on the number of people you have in your group. That's it. Literally, that's it. That's all you got to do. Just letting me know, yo, we lost a guy, need some help or whatever. What is your real ID? And I'll need to make a spot for you. Who hasn't been online in like ages? Zeto? I could do Zeto. Boomy 5v5 Duels, extra 28 days. I don't know if he's coming back. I guess I could do this. And I can get you in. Let me see if I can add you. Here we go. Gotcha. Hopefully. We'll see. Check your BNet. Or if you add me, you send the invite. Which one are you? Okay, there's a lot of names in here. Which one are you? Are you? I'm gonna get... is it Fix? It looks like Fix. Fix Mez. It looks like Fix Mez is the name. But I know it's like a FL. Hold on, before you do anything. Hold on. Where are you? Are you online on Real ID? Hop online on Real ID. I will not be able to queue you unless you are online. Just so I can give you a note so I remember who you are. I'm so bad with names, Flamin'. I just need to add Flamin' from the 5v5 1v1 Duels, just so if I ever go through like my Real ID and I'm like, oh, who hasn't been online in a good while, it'll help me ring a bell. Set note. Flamin' from 5 Beautiful. And all you gotta do, my guys, just update me on how the group is, how this group is doing. Okay, this team is ready. Gonna start second group. And once we have 5 there, we're good to go. Hang tight while we get you boys some bodies to fight against. Okay, Flamin', I'm gonna delist this so you don't have to worry about this. Just keep me updated like, yo, we lost a guy, and then what I can do is just hang out in chat, just or I can message you, I guess. That could work too. But I'll just need to like let's say you lost a guy, I can always join the group and I can help you get the group together, get it all set up, all that good stuff. So basically I just need you to be there as a group lead, as a shepherd of this flock. How do I make you lead? Promote to raid lead. Okay, BRB making second group. Here we go. Alright, let's see if we can make a second group together. I don't know if I'll here we go. Second group is available, boys. If y'all want to join it, stay on the group with Flamin' if you're with him. I'm just gonna make a second group going. You guys can join it over in LG. Where's Diabolical Rev Chicago? Dude, that's what we need in here. Diabolical Rev Chicago to fight against all these warlocks in the other team. Because we got Harambe in there too. I haven't seen that name in a good while. But if I remember correctly, that guy pipes. I mean, Harambe was just amazing back in the day. Survival good now? Actually, surprisingly, yes. Grix, we got Grix in here. Survival actually is surprisingly good, Hashima. Yes, it is. Yes, it actually apparently does really well in M+. I don't know about PvP or like raids, but I know in M+ is definitely improved. That and the Feral Druid as well. Both of those two specs have been doing a lot better this season in M+ specifically. To give them my secret. I am not giving your secret. I'm not telling them what build you're running or whatever. Unless you talk about Vengeance Demon Hunter's secret. And then maybe I'm giving it away by even saying anything about it. But yeah, Survival actually has been doing a lot better for since the beginning of the season. My survival pumps. It's surprisingly good, but I do wonder if it's like because of the current affix, because it's pretty good against the current set of ads, the incorporeal that you gotta CC, but it's also pretty good against the spawning ads, the shades that spawn after you kill mobs, because they do a lot of AoE and they can just kill those mobs, but they'll also root them, stun them. So I wonder if it's just like this affix is keeping survival really good, or if it's just survival is doing really good in general. They did do pretty good season 1, but not a lot of people play them, so it's really difficult to pinpoint, and I just don't know if it's like a fluke or not. Also, does Chicago have a group? No, it doesn't look like they do. But in Chicago Online, hold on a second. Hold on, I need to start asking boys around here. Alas on? Yo, are you what the? Is Strict online too? Yo, is Strict online? Where's he at? What's his name again? It wasn't Strict Chaos, was it? Or maybe it was actually. Is Strict on? No, I don't. What's his real ID name? He was something else, I think. But Alas is on. She's pure druid. That's a name I haven't seen in a while. Hope they're both are doing good. Athaman also, my man, what are you doing? No mage! Huh? Atha going to no mage now. What world is this? Where am I living in? Hey Boom. I asked about duels last week. Hey Boom, wanna join 5v5 duels? Not the same Boomer that you guys remember, but his Boom is a different kind of Boom, still a very, very nice guy. Hey, C Rude, wanna join duels? Question mark. Daylight ends, we got him in here. Grex, hey. Does Fame wanna join? Because Flame isn't the other team. Jay doesn't really PvP. He does it sometimes, but like not often. Kargath. Hey, Kargath. Wanna join duels? How's it going? What's up, Brock? I said to my man, I'm good with my guy. Tried to set a group together for 5v5 1v1, so it should be good to go soon. I'm down, let me finish solo queue real quick. Okay. Yeah. Use these duels as like a place to like, you know what? You've been grinding solo queues, boys. You just want to get some games in. You just want to play some PvP, try out some builds. Solo queues take 30-40 minutes. Just join us for 5v5 1v1 duels. Let it be a break from your solo queue grinds, man. Let us be the break from your solo queue. Does Landis want to join? Hold on, let me ask. Hey, Landis, want to join duels? So if C-Root, so I know that Boom said he would be down to join, but he's got a solo queue, but maybe you can get him as a body. Do I ask Lux or is he queuing? He's probably queuing right now. Nick, do I ask him? Because I know he was having a lot of fun the other day. Trickster? Hey, friend. Wanna join duels? Or are you queuing it up? I'm gonna ask him anyway. I'm asking RLS. See what he says. Because he's usually down. Kargath? Sure, I'll finish this? Yeah, let's go. Yo, awesome. Okay. Cool, so Kargath is down. Landis says no thanks. Okay, friend. I don't remember Landis. Like, what was he again? Okay. Can I join after this game? Go for it. So we got Kargath that wants to join in. We got Boom that wants to join in. Trickster wants to join in. So that's at least 3 bodies. And that would still mean we need 1 more. So if anybody wants to join in over on the NA, you guys are more than welcome to. Where's Seavark? Where's Chicago? Do we got Nick maybe? Direwolf? Maybe I should ask him. Hey, Direwolf. Wanna join 5v5 1v1? I haven't asked him in a while. Duels this evening? See what he says. Hey, just be the gentleman when you get a chance. I've rolled on a second. Oh, Serpent Sting? What is this? Hold on a second. Why is Serpent Sting so high in your damage? Is this AoE? No, it's just Sarkarath. It's just single target. What the hell is this? Are you actually pressing Serpent Sting on cooldown or like maintaining the debuff? Are you supposed to? Because it was under the, or maybe it's not just like you would press the Mongoose Bite and grenades. Actually, with cooldown reduction on grenades, it's probably just all grenades, isn't it? That's insane, though, if that's true. That is pretty nuts. Master Marksman, Kill Command, Fear of the... Yeah. Oh, I think I almost mentioned one of the key talents, and I tried to hold myself back. Nah, my bombs just consolidated, so it's all split. Oh, yeah. You should consolidate the bombs. I feel like that would give you so much more information. Because the bombs will probably be like a huge portion of overall damage. I'm all good, TY. Okay, friend. So Direwolf doesn't want to join in. We'll still need Onomas. Kuros? I want to try to see if we can get variety in here. Because we could always ask Lux, we could always ask Nick. They're welcome to join. They're welcome to join. But we'll see. We'll see. I give it a little bit of time until we can get all these other bodies in here. Heal right now won't take long, homie. Okay. Sounds good. I'm here already. Yeah, let's get him in here, dude. Let's get Trickster in here. So we need with me. Oh, what the hell? I'm undead. That's a Conan? Okay. We need one more. And we have Boom that we're waiting on. And with Boom, we'll have a 5-man team. We're good to go. How do you queue on you? So Alexander, normally the groups are... Should I speak Russian? I can do both. Normally, Alexander, мы будем нашу queue быть в LFG, в LFG. И будет принимать групп Legacy Raid. И там будет группа команда 5 на 5, 1 на 1 дуэли. 5V5 1V1 DUELS. И ты можешь записаться, и тебя мы забрать на группу. У нас будет 2 группы, и потом можешь себе через друг друга queue, я буду смотреть на спектатор. Но сегодня это в Америке будет дуэли. В пятницу дуэль, прошлый дуэль. Вчера был в Европе. Приходи, у нас будет пятница, но в России где-то там в Славе будет, я думаю, что-то 3 утра, 4 утра, я не знаю. Это будет time zone. Мы ничего на этом не можем делать. Yes, I do speak Russian. I just realized this. Yes, I was born Russian. And that's the only time I really get to practice Russian hairless. Like even like at home when I'm hanging out with my fam, right? Locally here, I'll have like, let's say for example, my mom. Oh, Meat Goblin? Are you Meat Goblin? Or which one are you? Hold on, Boom. I want to get you in. Your name is Sensei? I don't want to get him in, but we got Meat Goblin. Wait, what is the name? Gobblers? Meat Gobblers. That's such a good name. That is such a good name. That's actually cool. Ты хорошо говоришь по-русски. Я чуть-чуть забываю. Я не практикуюсь много. But yes, I normally just don't even speak Russian, even to like the fam locally here. Like they would be talking to Russian with me just because it's more comfortable for them, and they could phrase themselves a little bit better that way. I just speak English back to them, and we just kind of understand each other like perfectly. But yeah, I just don't practice it enough, man. I tried to explain it as best I could. But yeah, if you guys want to join up, today is NA, yesterday was EU. If you want to join the EU duels, so like Russian region, Slavic boys, all that EU-centric area, those on Friday night for us. For us, it is going to be a time zone thing for you EU boys, though. Is there a spot? Is that beat Gobblers? There is, but I am waiting on a homie. I promised them a spot. I'll give it a little bit longer, right? We'll give like Boom like a minute or two because he's playing solo queue healer. So I guess he's already in the arena match and he's already like going through matches back to back. I doubt that they're like super long, but maybe they're like really long. But otherwise you can get Boom. Oh, Diabolicals too. I want to get your boys in here. Okay. So this is what we'll do. We'll give it like a minute. If Boom is still taking a second, we'll just grab Meat, and then we'll get Boom in one of these rounds. I did promise him like, hey, we got a spot. I don't want to be like, get beaten here, and then Boom immediately goes, oh, well, by the way, I'm out. Can I get that invite? I'll be like, yeah, I know I invited you, but like, but it took a little long. You took forever, so we swapped you out. But this is like, I don't know. I just don't want to get an awkward stage like that. I'll give it like a minute. As weird as it sounds, I do want to try it out. What, Russian? Dude, it's learning Russian, I will tell you right now, English speakers, especially if you grew up in America, it's gonna be tough because there's grammatical stuff, there's a word thing, there's like the way you gotta phrase your words, the way you gotta talk. There's a lot of like rules behind it. I guess they're not like if you speak like a broken Russian, most people in Russia will understand you, but I do think there's going to be like some awkwardness when you try to phrase yourself and you just won't really be able to get your, what is it? You won't really be able to get yourself, your point across all that easily. Like nobody's going to like make fun of you or whatever, but like, man, it's definitely it's a difficult language to learn. it is a difficult language to learn. Like me, after I learned English, I'm like looking back at Russian with like a critical eye, and I'm just like breaking it down in terms of like sentence structure and all those other things. I'm just like, why are you like this? Why are you like this? Because English in my head at this point makes so much sense. There are some weird stuff like the difference between like you, your, and your, right? Or there, and there. And then there's words like, you know, capricious that has a CI in there. What are you thinking of SH as the sound that that makes? You know, little things like that, but there's not, I feel like besides a few handful of rules like this in the English language, everything is basically just like flows. Grab Diabolic. I know I want to grab Diabolic, but I told Boom I was going to grab him, and I'm just giving him a moment here. And if I did grab anybody, I'd grab Beat because he did sign up first before him, so I'd want to be fair. I think it'd be difficult. He said I was born Russian. Yeah, yes, I was. Yeah, so I was basically like thrown in there immediately. That's the language we started with. You know, I started on a hard mode, but I didn't really know easy mode, so it was just like, it was the mode, right? I did have one weird thing for a longest time because in Russian, we roll our R's. Like when you speak Russian, like in English, it'll be like the word Russian would be Russian, but in Russian, it would be Ruski. That rolling your R's, and I had a hard time with that as a kid. I had a very, very difficult time, dude. My tongue immediately wanted to do the American R's, right? The R's where there's no rolling whatsoever. So it was really difficult for me, and I really had to practice it for a good while. I really had to train my tongue, and I remember that vividly as a kid, having to practice it daily until it was just natural for me. It was weird. But it's like a lot of things you don't remember as a kid just because, you know, your brain doesn't really save a lot of memories, right? Your hard drive hasn't been upgraded yet up until like a certain age, but I do remember practicing that daily until I get it right. Rashmi, exactly, dude, exactly. You gotta get that perfect roll in there just to make sure you have that emphasis, because it's really difficult to emphasize your words in Russian. Like if you want to sound angry, when you can't roll your R's, it sounds like you're doing baby talk. You just don't sound intimidating at all. You know what I mean? First thing I know about Russian, everything of gender, everything's second, you know. There's like 6 pedants. Yeah. There's like there's multiple versions, multiple meanings for a same word, right? And the way that you would use it has a very specific context depending on what you're talking about. And yes, everything has like a gendered like ending to it or whatever, or suffix, prefix, beginning, whatever, right? There's a lot of those. There's definitely a lot of those. It's like looking back at it, it's just like, man, it's like, why are you so complicated? Boom said he's almost done. All good, friend. Oh yeah, he's done, dude. Finally got him. I had to wait for the boy, man. I had to wait for the boy. Yo, still got 5, friend? Is Death coming back? Is Death coming back? Oh, he's back. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. Who do I make lead here? Hey, who lead? I could make either Grix lead, Sensa lead. I think I'll make Grix lead, eh? Grix, do you have a... Dalaran? Okay, what I'll do is this. I'll make you lead, Jade. All you have to do is just let me know if your group is missing a guy ever. And just keep me in touch of like, if your group is ready, if your group is not ready, if everybody is in, somebody DC'd, all those little things, right? That's about it. And I just queue, and if ever somebody drops off, you just let me know, yo, I got a guy that's missing, go invite you. And I'm like, yo, you invite me, pass me lead, I take care of everything. I'm gonna take care of all of you boys. Yo, Beat and Diabolicals, I can get you, hold on, let me what's up to Beat. I can get you in. I can get you in if we get a free spot, my man. Yo, let me also do this real quick. So make Grix lead. Let me see if I can tone down the slide a little, because it's really bright and it's blinding my eyeball. Like right eyeball specifically. Okay, it's a little bit better. I moved it back a little bit, so it's still doing this balancing act, but it's a lot higher now, and it's not really looking at me. How's it looking, chat? Do you have the green screen stuff? Artifacting, maybe? I'm not seeing artifacting. You guys let me know if you see like weird artifacting in the back. Like if you see some weird like shimmers or whatever. Like there's a rogue hiding behind me, or like an alien's behind me. Or is it Predator that's behind? Predator sounds weird, but like Alien versus Predator, the horror, whichever one goes invisible. I think I just like self-reported myself though. I barely watched any of the Alien vs Predator movies. Fix, Mez, and Daylight ends. Yo, Amarok, I like that mog by the way. Looking good, my guy. Was it a grand? Did I mess it up? Oh, it's L. Okay, FLX, Mez, Daylight ends 5 in the grand 1. Oh, this is so much better. If you see a Predator behind me, I'm like, exactly, dude. I had to like, probably not the right choice of words here. Oh, hey, Mamaga, I like it a lot. I like that whole purple thing you got going on. You got yourself, oh, the chest, legs. I like that you have leg disposed instead of just like a tabard. My man's got them long legs. Look at them, dude. I like that lightning on those things too. And then we got this as the gloves. I love the armor thing you got going on. It looks so good. Hell yeah. Okay, we give him a sec. Okay, we give him a sec. As soon as Sensei's back, I guess he got to see maybe for a second. But as soon as Sensei returns, we'll go again. Because we never got to do a proper Nagrand. If worse to worse, we'll have to swap out Boom, but we do have a couple of bodies. We have Diabolicals, we have ourselves beat. All of them want to get a chance to play the game as well. So we got bodies. 200% sure I can reroll BM and MM, no issue. My stats are perfect. What are the stats that you play for like MM, Survival, and BM? Are you all haste crit for them? Because there's no way, right? Rogue equals live, that's good, but that's now true. All good answer, man. Yep. Hope you're having a wonderful evening, Reckless, by the way. Are we good? Daylight? Is it not back yet? Do we gotta swap them out? I posted my stats, all crit haste. Is that what all of you specs play right now, is crit haste? Because I was under the impression marksmanship was always like mastery crit, but maybe they changed it. I mean, it looks good. That's a lot of haste. That's a lot of crit too. 41% crit. I love how you have more crit than haste. But actually, I think it's better because you want to crit a lot. Hunter is the agility version of Warlock. Really? So all of you guys are haste crit. I mean, that makes gearing much easier, to be honest, right? Still gone. Okay, we got a snag. Hold on, we got a snag on the other team. Fixing it real quick. Yeah, Daylight, if you can toss me an invite past me lead, I will give him like a 30 more seconds if Boom comes back. If not, we'll swap out Boom for somebody else. Also, no Stone. He's back. Okay. Okay, we'll just queue it. We'll just queue it. Won't ask questions. Maybe just had a momentary to see it. We'll just get in there. If we gotta swap them out over time, we'll swap them. But otherwise, I think we'll be good to go. First duel of the night, boys. Yo, let me get my duels mix in here real quick. Oh my goodness. I am excited, man. I am excited. I'm actually pretty happy I also swapped out my mixes a little bit here. So it should be a little bit different. You may hear new songs here and there. We're just gonna kind of go with whatever the game gives us too. Dude, you can hear the drums like really loud with these headphones. Is it just me? Because we have music in the background and then they do drumming the entire time. I wonder if they'll like cross over and correlate. Is it just me? It sounds so loud. Ah! These headphones are so different than what I'm used to. Alright, let's get us going. Switch. We got us a team 1 to go with Amarok on that team as an elemental shaman. We got ourselves Flaming as a destruction warlock. Harambe making a return. He used to play in these duels a couple of times, but coming back as a demonology. We got ourselves Aspie Shady from last week, as well as Tara joining as a feral druid versus Conan over on the team too. Actually looking like Conan the Barbarian. I am look at the axe, look at the sword. That is actually so good. Oh my goodness, that was a Conan survival game. I kind of want to go back and play it. Stormbolt out of the warrior immediately. Trying to see if he can get a charge towards Amarok. Is going to go for a knockback immediately with a shockwave to follow. I do love warriors adopting the new shockwave build. Knocking back the warrior for just a second. Got himself a couple of lava bursts to follow. Frost Shackle right after. Shamans are just masters of control against melee classes. They're just going to end up punishing him with zaps. Yeah, I wonder if he's playing the volcanic build, where it's all about them lightning bolts, or if he's playing like the instant cast build. I guess only time will tell. If he's playing instant cast, is going to be a big old ascendance to follow random frog. Got himself lots of damage. Going to be a static totem just to keep Conan in place, but the man, the barbarian, does not want to be held down whatsoever. Amarok is trying to go for even more roots, has knockbacks and roots in order to keep the warrior at bay as best as possible. He's going to be quick stun around the corner. Normal lightning bolts, I think, just to get the damage up and running. Lava burst right after. Knockback into Conan. He charges back in. Disarmament to Amarok. It's going to end up reflecting the frost shock back at him, but the man is going to be able to escape and does end up dodging with a burrow away from the shockwave. Both using burrow defensively rather than offensively. Conan leaping around the corner as Amarok drops down a Healy Totem, trying to see if he can find himself a little bit of survivability. Perfect knockback as the Stormbolt comes out by Conan. Still got plenty of damage. Got himself a way to reconnect. Big Archshark to follow. Amarok trying to see if he can get himself a bit of a Stormkeeper. Going in for a couple of zaps here and there. Got himself healing surges as well as the ability to be uninterrupted for a little bit of time. Still holding on to a defensive of the Guardian as best as possible. That's Conan trying to see if he can find himself a much better angle. Storm Elemental join in. So Amarok is playing the Storm Elemental rather than the Fire. So he wants to go for the Lightning Bolt build at some point in the future. But it's going to be a big damage out of Conan. Doesn't get a knockback. It's going to be static totem. Perfect opportunity for Amarok to at least hold him in place. He's going to go for big lava burst. Trying to see if he can go for big damage. Leaping over the static totem. Stormbolt to follow. Does Amarok just go down right now? It's going to be Capacitor Totem. It's going to give Amarok a little bit of movement in order to be able to escape the guy. Conan charging in. Light the last to follow right after. Does end up going for a little bit of healing. Defenses come back very, very soon as Amarok does end up, I think, Earth shocking himself back from that one, but should still be able to maybe go for a Frost Shock in case he wants to go for a Root. As Conan was able to catch up a lot of healing, what's going to be a fear, got himself big avatar, as long as he can get himself the avatar together with an Odin's Fury to ramp up the bleed and then maximize it onto Amarok, then he'll be in a fantastic spot. Got himself the defensive and rage regeneration back up and running. Going to be a knockback by the Chamois as he goes in for that Stormkeeper. Trying to see if he can blast out the warrior as best as he can. Big Archshock to follow Frost Shock right after. Does Reflect, trying to go for Primordial. Primordial still should do quite a bit of damage, but it is going to be Spell Reflect, reducing that magic damage by 20%. Has Lightning Bolt in his hands. Wants to go in for big damage. Earthshock, trying to go for Frost Shock. I think wasn't able to get himself the proper Frost Shock route or anything. Might have been consumed on something else in the end. As Amarok catches himself a little bit of healing. Knockback yet again on Conan. At least he's able to keep him at bay. Catching up on heals anytime he gets any space away from the warrior. Does go in for a charge. Trying to see if he can deny the root off of that knockback into a shockwave. Just see if he can blast past the defenses of Amarok. Dropping in a static totem. As long as he's near the static totem, the Conan should be able to be knocked back into it over and over. Does try to go in for a lead. Cannot break out of it whatsoever. Big Frost Shock for Amarok. Got himself Lava Burst. The more Lava Burst he can get, the better he's going to be right now. Big Lava Burst flying in. Not getting the Ascendance proc that he's looking for though. But definitely to get it as soon as possible. Frost Shock, Archshock's blasted the guys. He got plenty of Instacast with a Stormkeeper to follow. Lots of damage available. That's going to be Reflect. Trying to make sure he doesn't really reflect the Lightning Bolt back at himself. Big damage on a Conan. Earthshock does end up catching up a little bit of healing, but out of defenses. Trying to see if he can reach Amarok. Does he go for the interrupt? Does go for interrupt on the lava, but the nature is going to knock him back with a light lasso. May get him dangerous and low. Does Conan go down here? Needs to get mobility. He's going to be Lava Burst sent in. Try to go for Shockwave. Doesn't quite connect. Big Odin's Fury coming out. It's going to be Amarok with a burrow. Does he maybe turn around the burrow offensively? Looks like mostly trying to keep it defensive. Big root as he goes in for Stormbolt. Does deny the warrior proper go. It's going to end up reflecting one of the spells back at himself. It is going to be a Frost Shock after. Got himself plenty of healing. Trying to go for a stun. Actually, shoots out. Maybe almost got the stun onto Conan. It's going to get knocked back. Wait, Capacitor. Still doesn't go in for stun. Amarok gets himself a moment to breathe. Got himself the Stormy Elemental as well. He should be able to do quite a bit of damage onto the warrior. Trying to go for a knockback. Doesn't quite connect with the warrior properly. It's going to be a knockback from the Elemental Shield control, as it's going to be some healing surges for Amarok. Got himself a wall. Conan barely alive, but he's still hanging in there. Trinket out of Amarok will not have any outs anymore. As Conan trying to see if he can close that gap. He's getting zapped from either side right now. The lightning, it just courses through his veins as he does finally get to close the gap. Trying to go for Bloodthirst Wall, and Rage Regen is active. Stormkeeper available for Amarok. Conan trying to see if he can fight right through it. Battle Master Trinket. This man is just fueled by rage, literally red head to toe. trying to see if we can go for a leap with the reflect available. Avatar with the recklessness, perfect opportunity for the warrior to really make a play, but those roots are going to be very detrimental. Got himself big lightning bolts with the Earth Shock, Frost Shock potentially for Amarok. Stormbolt as he's trying to see if he can leap away. Conan getting knocked back last second. That's going to be Amarok at no help whatsoever. Neither is Conan, but looks like he's coming back little by little in the instant range. Amarok could go down right now, trying to go for a heal. Last chance to go for a stun totem to go with the static totem. Double stun to Conan with a freeze. Looks like Amarok somehow barely made it out as we hit in the 5-minute dampener. I can't believe he's still going for it. 5 minutes into dampener. Nobody games went so fast. What happened? I guess this is the change of like what? The crit damage is reduced, so now classes can live a little bit longer, don't they? Fear by Conan. Got himself lots of damage. Avatar together with a reflect on that lasso is able to deny the lasso from Amarok, but the roots are still going to be pretty detrimental, especially against a melee class that can't easily escape out of him whatsoever. Big Earth Shocks onto Conan, Frost Shocks to follow, but he's still able to maintain himself quite well. No interrupt available for that Stormkeeper, but still got himself plenty of healing, trying to play into that Fury Warrior self-sustained Frost Shock to follow. Lightning Lasso, or maybe it was a knockback, but it was denied entirely. Amarok does get hit with a disarm. At this point, it's a worry if you do pick up a disarm, you might as well, like, what do you do? Disarm the mage? I mean, you might as well, right? Gonna be a stun around the corner. Amarok able to catch up a little bit of healing. Got himself a couple of healing surges. Stormkeeper Sunder. It's Shockwave. I'm so not used to saying Shockwave. But Shockwave out of the warrior. Lasso to follow. Amarok trying to go for a bit of a light lasso. Trying to see if it can avoid the guy as best as possible. It is going to be a stun onto Conan as he does go in for the wall. Amarok trying to see if he can get himself a little bit of survivability here as he does wall. I think together with the Spirit Walker's Grace. Conan just gonna get stuck up into the static tunnel for a good bit here. Does Amarok end up killing here, or does maybe Conan come back? Because he does get defenses back. He also got the Storm Elemental that he could kind of just sit on and maybe get himself a lot of healing off of. Deny the knockback in the root from Amarok with a charge. And it's going to be a trinket, trying to see if he can go for a bit of a knockback into Conan, who got himself a reflect. As long as Amarok doesn't reflect the wrong spell at himself, he might be okay. I think that's end up reflecting one of the lightning bolts at himself, which could give Conan an opportunity to end the duel here. Trying to see if he can go for a shockwave onto Amarok, but he does end up going for a burrow to deny any kind of CC and any kind of damage for at least a short moment. Well, technically some abilities can still go through burrow, like AoE effects can still affect your burrow, but the targeted abilities cannot. So I wonder if Conan can actually just whirlwind him and just keep hitting the guy. Potentially, actually. Very possible. 7 minutes into the duel. We are going to the 39% dampener, boys. First game of the night. You're not going to get any healing whatsoever. Stun onto Amarok, trying to see if he can go for a bit of a charge reflect to follow. It's going to be Amarok trying to see if he can back away from Conan for just a moment here. Then it's going to be a full recklessness available for the warrior. Lava burst sent in for Amarok, trying to see if he can fish for those lightning lava bursts as well as ascendances if at all possible. Conan breaking past the totem, and it's going to get knocked back, rooted out in the open. Going to be Frost Shocks as well as Earth Shocks. Stormkeeper at the ready. Does he have an answer for this one? He does have a big bleed rolling onto Amarok, so the shaman trying to be extra careful, trying to mitigate the damage as best as possible at the 42% dampener. Conan needs to close that gap in order to go for even more bloodthirst, for even more impending victories in order to maintain himself. Shane, my man, I appreciate you, my guy. Can we get a hashtag Shane in chat showing appreciation, my guy? Appreciate you, my man. Oh my god, you love those stickers, man. We love to see it, dude. Love to see it. Huh? After all this, Conan DC'd? Did he like DC like leave, or did he just get hit by like a lightning bolt so hard he DC'd? We did have that happen yesterday over in the EU. We had a shaman get stunned so hard he not shaman, a warlock gets stunned so hard he literally DC'd. But I guess that is the end to that round of the end of it all. Death X is gonna be up next, gonna give him a knockback. What is this? Look at this man's mog. He's got like almost like a Viking-esque thing going on. I want to say the wings. What is this? Is just all over the place. Gonna be a full stun onto Amarok as he got himself. Steps rolling in. Full death mark. The poison courses through Amarok's veins. Trying to see if he can go for a little bit of healing. It's gonna be a cheap shot last second for Death X. Does he go for a restyle there? Or was it just like a shadow dance or something? I'm not even sure. But the Feral Tara is gonna be up next. Immediate convoke. Trying to see if he can punish the rogue. Cheat death not available. Oh, he goes down either way. Oh, this is where Tara maybe honestly shouldn't have even done anything. Just Tara. It's I was gonna say Tara, but that actually doesn't work out really well. Tower this rogue apart? Maybe, is that what that was? But does end up bailing. That is super unfortunate. Gonna be Sensei up next versus Tara. I like that mog, by the way. It looks pretty good. The tabard and everything. That actually looks so good. The Star are gonna back up. I guess maybe they're gonna wait until Convoke is available. There's only like 35 seconds left on Convoke, so honestly could come back for it a little bit later. Wait, did Conan come back? Welcome back, friend. Yeah, Conan, you could somebody tell Conan that he gotta go back to like the where Grix is at? He got killed in that duel. Maybe we could put Conan on the back burner just so he can get one more chance, but right now it is Sensei dueling. Yeah, I think the guys realizing, yeah, okay. You know what? Honestly, we did lose, I think, Errorless, so Conan, I guess, could take place of Errorless. This is going to be Sensei taking a lot of damage from Tara. Immediate Convoke puts him in a critical danger. That's going to be immediate panic. All the defense is going to use is Tara. Just trying to see if he can survive past the Karma. Do they go down right here? The wall and everything is used to see it's a little bit more damage from Sensei and should be able to take him over right now. Trying to go for a little bit of healing, but in this idea, but you can't really go for any healing touching down. Sensei just turning around all that pressure, all that Convoke back onto the Feral Druid. I thought I had a D, but never mind, Lord. Just got called for immediates. All good, Airless. All good, my guy. Honestly, since Airless has to go, we'll let Conan go again, just so he can take Airless's spot. I think that'll be fair, right? So at least we got like 5 bodies playing for Team 2, even though it's 2 bodies once. Or 1 body twice. But I guess that could work. Sensei taking a lot of damage, trying to see if he can deal with SP Shady, but I think that Shatterface already got his hands, his voided tendrils all around the soul of Sensei. The man is going to be going down. If that Siphon gets a side of you, if you think it's a whiff of you, you might be done for the count. Needs a heal right now, trying to see if he can recover, but it's 62% dampener. You ain't going to be able to heal whatsoever. Lexium onto Shady, who's going to go for tricking just so he can eliminate the Monkus. Greg's going to be up next. I guess it's technically the 4th in this team, and we are gonna live Conan, get another chance there. Might as well, yeah. As SP Shady and Grix are giving each other a bit of an honor duel, waiting out for one another. And Grix, Demonology, yeah? Playing Nether Portal. That's gonna be interesting. A lot of the EU boys dropped the Nether Portal playstyle, but I think it still has validity when it comes to dueling scenario. Especially if you're just trying to go for like an all-in one go against someone. Plus Bitlord, even though it's just one demon that you gotta deal with, it is still an overwhelming force of demons that you gotta fight against. It's just like such numbers. Mordecai sent in onto SP Shady as he's trying to see if he could get himself out of this situation. Has plenty of defenses to work with, but the dampening is really high. At 67%, you ain't healing for nothing. So you have to be extra careful. Trying to go for silence. Gonna be big boy Troid, but the Bedlord is gonna be blasting you from the back. It's gonna start to see if you can chip away from your defenses. Even if you disperse it down, you're not really gonna get much healing. Trying to go for a bit of a vampiric embrace, but at this point your healing is really limited. It's gonna go for a disperse as Griggs backs up out of there. Griggs also needs to be very careful with his health. He's limited on how much he can heal and limited with the amount of health that he can work with. Especially walking next to the Observer Demon. That is exactly not where he wants to be. Senator Griggs trying to see if he can turn it around. Drystock can join in, and it's gonna be able to take out the Shadow Priest, but Griggs is left with no health whatsoever, and Flaming charging in without any remorse is going to try to see if he can eliminate Grix, and if he can push in a lot of pressure into Conan, he might just be able to take it for his team, unless we get a chance for Harambe to actually get a chance to play this one. Grix sending Immortal Coal at Flaming, but I think it's just over. The Destro Warlock? The Conan Bale? Or did the game just like counted Conan as he lost his match, so it ended? I'm not really sure. That or Conan is trying to respect the 5V5 1v1 dueling rules, and he's just like, okay, I lost. I'm just gonna bail once the round is over. I guess that also could work out. Let's get us another one going. Now, Chicago, looking for 3 out of 5. Chicago's looking for 2 more if you guys want to join in. Chicago, we also could have maybe you. I mean, I guess if you already got a group, we could have you. How many we got here? We got 3. Okay, so what I could try is I guess try to see if I could. So we got Chicago's group, and then we got my group. What I could do is I could just have this group that we have right here with Griggs, Conan, and Sensei join Chicago because they need 2 more. Sensei AFK, not here. Okay, we do this. Wait, is Sensei gone? Oh, good friend. All good friend. You AFK or you back? We'll see. Does Chicago have a 5-man? 4 out of 5. Okay, so Chicago's a 4 out of 5. He's gone. Okay. No, Sensei just messaged me. He said he's back. So Sensei is boom. So he's here. So Chicago needs 1 more. This group has 3. We could try to see if we can have this as a separate group, but honestly, it might just be better for you guys. I guess I could also get beaten here, right? And Daya. Group has spots unless you are with Chicago already. Because we could just have Chicago take over the group and just have Griggs, Conan, and Sensei send up for Chicago's group. It'll be kind of first come, first serve, but I think they'll rotate people out. Okay, so Beat is with Chicago. Probably Diabolical Zorda with Chicago as well. Let's do it. Dude, played Convoke. Just simple Convoke play. Simple as walk in, Convoke, reset, simple as. You know what I mean? It's a classic. But it's crazy that it's still like highly effective. Like you literally walked in, press Convoke, slap through. Convoke, if anything, not killed anybody. It doesn't always kill somebody 100% guarantee. But it does get him incredibly low. Like that monk had to burn every defensive. And at that point, like, had a really hard time recovering. We are in high dampening, so you can't really heal. But yeah, it was really rough. We'll try to see if we can get this group established as well. Tara joined in, so we can maybe... Oh, both Griggs as well as... Oh, you guys left. Okay, are you trying to join? Okay, it looks like... okay. FLX Flamin needs one more. I joined Chi. Okay. That sounds good. Oh, I read it as Chi, but it's actually, I guess it is Chicago, but it is CHI at the very beginning. What if it's been Chicago all along, like Chi, like Monk Chi, but I've been calling them Chicago the entire time? What if, dude? What if? Oh, okay, they all left. Okay, that works out. All right, Flamin. Need my help inviting? Okay, Flaming needs +1, and we're good to go. Trying to see if I can help him out. Oh, you listed? Okay. So Flamin got its listed. What do you? Okay, he listed it in LFG. If you just type in, okay, do this chat. If you guys want to join Flamin, he's got one group available, one spot available for his team. If you guys want to join it, head over to Dungeons and Raids, pre-made group, Raids Legacy, hit find group. At the top, type number 5, and then hit enter, and you will see 5V Dalaran Gaming 1v1 Duels. I love the 5V big takedown. I like the way you formatted. I think it looks good. But if you guys want to join in, if Boom or if Tara wants to join them, you guys are more than welcome to. Give me the Flamin's group list. They are listed in Raids Legacy. Type in search bar, and you should see it. Listen, ready? Oh, you guys 5 men? Okay. Okay, they are ready. Okay, another thing you need to do, Flamin, is make sure you delist the group. Otherwise, it bugs out when I queue us. Make sure it's delisted. There we go. Perfect. All right, I can get the group going in now. Awesome. Thank you so much for making the group, by the way. If you're comfortable making groups, it helps me out tremendously, by the way. Because like if you could just like toss it up, maybe tell the chat like, yo chat, we got a group listed, Raids Legacy, what the title is, looking for a couple more. Like that, if you're comfortable with doing stuff like this, it helps me tremendously. Otherwise, I'm fine taking care of all that stuff for you. Let's do Blade's Edge, a good map for the Warlocks. Wait, I have the wrong guy. Daylight's in there, but Daylight is no longer lead. It's gonna be Chicago. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Chicago. Chicago is spelled with a Q. At least our Chicago is spelled with a Q. You think it's a G in there? Nope. It's a Q. What can I fast forward this? If you take speed, gaming is, but although you shouldn't, I'm gonna be a good role model. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad, okay? But if you take speed, you could fast forward life. Probably a couple of decades from now, as well as the stream. As for side effects, I can't guarantee anything good. Don't do drugs. You ask that every single time you pop in. Hope you're doing good, my guy. Hey Dad, what about possible world PvP setting where people can't run away and hide, or free from scenario, 10 people enter, only 1 walk out? Oh, like a maybe like a world PvP, like a random arena gets formed in like a organic local area, like out in the open world. 10 people enter, and then it's like walls appear and no one else can join. Countdown starts and everybody fights to the death, and then somebody gets a reward. That'd be cool. Like something where other people can watch them fight too. I think that'd be neat to see. Yeah, I'll be not against that at all. So Twitch. We got ourselves team. Looks like team 1 is missing a guy, but team 2 has everybody. We got ourselves Beatman on the team. Downvalkers in the back. Greg's gonna be first up, trying to go for a bit of an honor duel as Jiu-Jitsu gonna be on the monks. I like that look with the weapons and full Shadowlands mod going on, as well as Chicago joining back in. I think you got yourself the new flames, right? The tabard and everything. Gonna be Amarok over on the team. 1 together, Flame and Harambe. SP Shady gonna be first up. We got Tara. How are priests invisible, by the way? Okay, you are visible, but when you dismount, you literally become invisible. Is it me? Shadow Fear of my Grace doesn't quite connect exactly. Is that Shady? Yeah, he's literally a ghost. I know that Shadow Priests get like a shadow form, but this could get some kind of like unique ghost form. How much would you have to pay the blister for that? What is this? Can the mob even see you? Gonna be a stun? I think it's just a visual bug, right? Not only on my end, but probably not for everybody else. As long as you can see the health bar, I think you're good to go though, for the most part. But SP Shady is being extra shady, literally invisible. Greg's got a full army chasing after the guy. He's gonna go for the root onto all these beds, trying to see if he can get himself a couple of flash heals behind the pillar. Those flash heals are fairly effective for Shadow Priest other than not. The recovery you can get from those is fantastic, but it's still taking a ton of damage, even though he's in control of Grace. He's the one taking so much output. Is gonna go for a dispersion the other way at the end though, and Grace is trying to see if he can get himself a little bit more demons, a little bit more precious stun around the corner, trying to see if he can maybe back up away from SP, as he's gonna go for full silence. Big void turn. Griggs just taking it all to the face. Has to see if he can endure it as best as possible while trying to get more demons out of the way. That's going to be double tentacles onto Grizz, doing quite a bit of damage, searing right into his soul. Is going to end up backing up out of there for a quick second as he's trying to get himself a better position. Got himself a little bit of a high ground versus SP Shady, who got himself still plenty of healing while behind the pillar. Every one of those flash out heals are doing fantastic job. As long as he's got the mana for them, he's gonna be okay. Gonna be Griggs pumping up his pets, as well as getting himself a big watch over what is it called? What do you observer to watch over? He's blasting Shady. Shady actually may go down ready and got himself a shield last second. Oh, but as he does damage to Grace, the observer just blasts him for percentage of his health, 10% in particular. Greg's at no health whatsoever. May just go down right now. Does he live? Does he die? Or is it just like a warlock thing where you just never die? What's up next? Is it going to be Harambe? Is it going to be Flamin? Is it going to be Tara? I think I'm still trying to figure out who's going to be first, who's going to be next. But it's going to be Greg's given an opportunity to at least recover a little bit of health right now. Whatever passive recovery he can get out of it. That was pretty close. That observer does so much damage. If you're not careful with the observer, it punishes you 10% of your health every single cast, and this is going to be the big old ogre complaining at us that no one's fighting. Big stun onto Amarok as Greg's trying to see if he can fight and claw his way back to a little bit of survivability. Mortal Coil sent in. Amarok trying to see if he can send Greg's flying towards the lower platform. He does have the portal as well as the big gateway in case he wants to use it. Then there's going to be an observer join in as Amarok doing any kind of damage to Grace is going to take percentage health, but Grace doesn't really have much health to work with. You only need a couple of those casts and you should have him into a frost shock for a second. Greg's trying to see if he can recover a little bit of health. Lava Burst may just end him. Light the last time, I think it's just over. There's nothing he can do while he's got himself blind aside of the main pet. Interrupted Greg's on his big cast. He's gonna go for the axe toss. He's gonna go for a bit of a heal actually. Warlock Helsa does come back, burning a soul shard in order to amplify. Got himself quite a bit of pets. Amarok trying to see if he can dodge him. It's gonna be full stun AoE as Grace literally just holding his ground, trying to see if he can just PvE out Amarok, sending in the pets, letting do a lot of the work as it's gonna be the Earth Elemental actually taunting some of those pets, particularly the Tyrant, which is not attacking Amarok. Amarok taking quite a bit of pressure, actually looking to retreat, get himself a bit of a better position as Greg's got himself an opportunity to push in. Now he has an opportunity to push in, but also can retreat behind the pillar in case he needs to. He got himself the gateway and everything. Stun onto Amarok behind the pillar. Amarok trying to see if he can go for a little bit of a line of sight here. Greg's with a wall, again just trying to tank up as best as possible, trying to see if he can push Amarok away from any kind of pillars. Drain life around the corner. Should be able to at least get some kind of healing from Amarok as the shaman, just trying to see if he can go for as much recovery while he can. Greg's just gonna have to commit a lot of pets in there as best as possible. Lava burst again sent in. Big proc of lava burst could be deadly. Just needs a bit of survivability. Got himself a Chinese shield. That's gonna be a big observer above his head. Got himself the earth elemental. Oh, the electric elemental on top, which is doing freebie damage as well. That is so unfortunate. Jiu-Jitsu, what is this kind of, what is going on? This man is zooming. What is that? Was that, what, he's just getting knocked around like a piñata now. What was that? I think he used Dragon Kick together with a jab, and it just like gave him the weirdest pathing ever. And then between that and then Shaman Nox, he just zooming, ping-ponging all over the place. Rolling in cap, there's nothing you can do. Touch of death is all he needs. Trinket for Amarak. Wait a second, does he have a knockoff of this burrow? He does not. Is this where Jiu-Jitsu takes him out? He just needs one more global. Light Lasso prevents him. Is he gonna trigger for it? Is he greedy? Knocked back as he tries to roll in. Oh my god, try himself a bit of Dragon's loss. Interrupted on the heel. Does he go down right here? Big Fist of Fury flying in, try to go for a knockback, but Jiu-Jitsu will not let it happen. Taking him out fairly quickly. Flaming gonna be up next as a Warlock. Gonna be immediate jab out of Jiu-Jitsu. Does not want to hold back whatsoever. Is gonna rotate defenses. As a monk, you're squishy. Unless you can rotate defenses while you're in combat. While you're actively fighting somebody, you want to make sure you're tanked up. Otherwise, you go for the hit and run strats. And Jiu-Jitsu has to rotate defenses if he wants to fight Flamin face to face, mano a mano. And he's actually making some quite a good bit of progress. But now he's kind of like out of cooldowns. He could go for a dampened harm. But at this point, do you do so? I imagine he would have used Fort Broom, and we're hitting the dampening little by little, so his healing is going to be kind of waned, especially after that healing nerf they did earlier, like last week or the week before that. Succubus CC does not last long at all. That gives him an opportunity. No Lexu for a bit, dumb. So it's kind of limited on how you can lock down Flamin besides the Fist of Fury to slow him down in place. But those parries are not going to do much for him whatsoever. Gonna be Infernal, drop it in, but he doesn't miss. It's stunned. Fist of Fury doing quite a bit of damage. Flamin is getting a lot of missing gas prog. The big Chaos Ball flying in. That's going to be bad for Jiu-Jitsu. Does go for dampened harm. That helps him tremendously. The Chaos Ball is still flying in as the Succubus CC comes out. There's nowhere he can go. Literally stuck out in the open. Does he have any more defenses? Diffuse Magic. He needs it right now. He needs to press it right now. It is active. Press Diffuse Magic. Oh. Oh no, is it Beatman next? It is Beatman trying to see if he can just blast past these boys. Flaming is going to end up porting back. Got himself a Bonza Fellow, but doesn't quite catch Beatman there. Unless he can reattach. Succubus CC trinkets out of it, doesn't want to find out exactly what kind of CC. Just walks in with a big elemental blast, taking him out. What is going on? And this guy's the only finisher. Like, did you just see the Ele Blast? Oh my goodness. Tara walking into this one actually may just want to wait. This is an enhancement shaman with an earth elemental, but you were playing Convoke. There's a good chance Tara is going to want to commit a pretty big Convoke in the opener. Beatman does not have a trinket, but Tara should be aware that if a Convoke, while earth elemental is around, Convoke could somehow randomly target the earth elemental over the shaman, and those bites, those big bleeds, the feral frenzies could go into the earth area over the shaman. So Beatman actually has himself a little bit of cover against Convoke for a bit. May want to get proactive with it on top of it. Maybe pick up the Flameshark Harambe. I guess he does put the pet away. I guess in a way he kind of gives Tara an opportunity to like Convoke on him while still like keeping the pet in a way. If Tara is careful here, if Beatman doesn't have an answer, this could be a one shot potentially. It depends how hard Convoke crits. Get him to the opener. Oh, the knockback was so perfectly lined up. Tara does end up jipping into stealth immediately. I think Shadowmeld is going to get rooted out in the open. Beatman still took a bit of bleed though. He's still bleeding quite a bit. But that Convoke literally went out of the window without knock. This is where you need to make sure that you get the opener. You gotta make sure that you get mobility as the Convoke happens. You need to make sure to kind of bait it out and then go full Convoke. And you gotta make sure you get the perfect angle. And it's so difficult. Because the bridge gives you such an opportunity right now as a shaman. But I think as a melee you can't position. There's a little bit of elevation with the bridge. There's some small, tiny ramps that will hold you back. Gotta be Tara, not in a great spot right now health-wise. Trying to see if he can go for a bit of recovery. Is already using Heart of the Wild in order to give himself a little bit more healing. Maim onto Beatman, but he does ends up beating up the Druid back to back. Harambe gonna be up next, setting up a port and everything. As he got himself actually a totem that he could just Shadow Bolt off of. Beatman walking into this one with a trinket, no guardian, does have a wall. Grounding totem is going to be, I think, actually pretty fundamentally big here. Harambe does not have like a castable playstyle or anything, like a big castle or anything. But like if you can Mortal or grounding a Mortal or something, That'd be fantastic. Going to be immediate burrow out of Beatman. Does he get himself a proper opener to Harambe? It's going to knock him up, but it's going to be Harambe bailing out of there immediately with a port. Got himself a reflexive Beatman. It's only going to end up hurting himself. It's going to be all the bets available. Tyron got himself a fantastic spot. It's going to be able to go for fast casting. Beatman can't really do much about it. It's going to be grounded shot on Tyron. Has to focus that thing down as soon as possible. And Beatman just trying to see if he can outrun all of these bets, but they are quick. They're able to end up closing the gap fairly quickly. 50% dampen. He can't really heal much. I think it's about to be over, and Harambe does end up taking him. With Chicago going to be up next as yet another enhancement shaman. Harambe at this point has maybe a couple of these bets, maybe could transfer some momentum, but he's definitely going to have to start playing it super defensive. Has a wall. Mobility is going to be key here. If he can use mobility to evade Chicago, he'll be fantastic. Chicago does end up using Ascendance really early on though. So Harambe being able to evade it, he is in a fantastic spot right now. Taking lots of damage from distance though. Harambe not really doing all that good. Wall this off, reflect is up. Chicago kind of limited on what they could do for a short moment. Harambe with an Axos still trying to go for the run. Does he have himself a port? He got himself a dark pack. Maybe that can give you a little bit of survivability. Chicago just needs to find himself a nice little gap versus Harambe and take him out. And that's exactly what he does. Find himself an opportunity and blast him. Bateman does end up walking away with 2 there. And Amarok with a 1. Just about everybody gets to play actually, except for Diabolicals over on Team Chicago. But otherwise, everybody else got a chance. I like it. Let's get us another one going, boys, yeah? Uno más. Chicago and Flamin', let me know when you guys are ready. Because we'll just get back in the next one immediately, yeah? Also, watch a Fire Mage over here. By the way, dude, Fire Mages are looking kind of terrifying. Have you guys seen what Fire Mages can do over on PTR? Bro, they're pretty nuts right now because the combustion is still good. It's still a good window. But man, dude, the new talents they're getting 40% more damage on your Pyroblast, Scorches, Fire Blast, everything while combustion is active and it has cooldown reduction. What? That's gonna be a lot. And the Meteor that can do 25% more damage and a shorter cooldown. And you don't have Rune of Power anymore. It just ends up amplifying your damage so you don't need it. What? With a rogue for spec for selling stuff to your enemies? Oh, what are you buying? What are you selling? That'd be kind of cool. Like a rogue that tosses a rogue spec that tosses concoctions, right? Master alchemist, but not like an alchemist like a profession, but rather poisons and vials full of maybe like stuff they steal from other enemies and stuff. Our shame is AFK, I think. Give him a second. I think Amarok is still around. I'll give him a moment. BRB, sounds good. But we still figure out that. I think he is back. Unless you mean not Amarok. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's chilling. Although I could be wrong. Would be the first time. But yeah, imagine like a rogue that tosses concoctions at allies and like poisons at enemies to slow down their attacks and stuff. Or something along those lines, yeah? How cool would that be? I do think I think if Augmentation Evoker is successful, they probably will start doing the same thing for some of the other specs. Either adding new specs for classes that do have like this buffer playstyle, that or changing some of the existing ones to give them more of a buff build. I think as long as you give them like a viable playstyle overall and it's a more enjoyable experience in general. Like I think if Augmentation Evoker is enjoyable to play and people really do like playing it, I think they'll probably end up changing some of the classes they have because I feel like there's only so much you can really do between like class fantasies or whatever, you know? Like I'm only in Fraud's AK playing a class fantasy, but if you're doing like rogues, right? Assassination, Subtlety, and Outlaw, all of them are like Shadow Strike, Hammer Spammers with a Shadow Dance in a way. Except maybe like Assassination, it's like bleeds and poisons, but like, I don't know. But I wonder the direction they could go into. Is back ready? Okay. Okay. As soon as Chicago is ready, I will cube. Here we go. Beautiful. You down, my man? What's up? Sorry, how you doing, my man? Welcome. How you doing, my guy? At the Thunderdome. Yo, give us a Thunderdome as an arena, man. That'd be awesome. Just do it like a Thunder King arena. I know like we're not in a raid for Thunder King, but it still would be really cool to see at some point, you know? Alright, we'll do Blackrook Hold, because I can't really do anything that's a Thunderdome. I would love something awesome though. Something badass for our arenas. Jump Frost may just put up frozen walls. I think it'd be hilarious, huh? It'd be great. Conan again, DC'd. All good, Miguel. Don't worry about it, my man. You're more than welcome to come back and join us, by the way. All good. No worries. Always welcome to join us, bud. Always welcome to. Alrighty. Let's see if we can get us another run tonight, boys. Looks like everybody's here. I really gotta make sure that I get my FPS all set up properly when we queue up for these. I think that was saved. I also kind of want to mess around with the audio. I feel like there's a lot of like effects. I mean, and ambience is really loud right now, isn't it? Like ridiculous loud. Yeah, well, maybe something like this. Can I make this sound like? I wonder if I could do ambience and sound like to just this character, right? So my other characters have like normal sound or whatever. So Twitch. We got ourselves Beatman, potentially going to be first though, but maybe not. Trying to see if we can figure it out. Maybe he is going to be first. I think he's trying to figure out if it's going to be him or not, but it's going to be Chicago instead. Going to be first up versus Tara. As they're walking up and stun. Chicago could go for a knockback. Does go for the knockback. Trying to see if he can close the gap. Actually, were you able to skull bash to get back in there? Does it interrupt your skull bash or does it interrupt your convoke? Big damage on Chicago. Actually, Blade out Professor may just have to use everything they can defensively in order to survive this. Trying to not give up too many defenses. Actually, trying to see if he can maybe counter-offensive to get with Tara. Trying to be very careful with the maelstrom spending as they're going to go for big blasts versus Tara. Wall to follow. Tara trying to see if he can get himself in a bit of a better position as they go in full defensive. Heart of the Wild immediately just trying to see if they can play out into full offensive gameplay. Convoke coming back up in about 27 seconds, but I don't even know if they survive into it. It's going to be Chicago taking him down with Amarok. Gonna be up next as an elemental Shimei. Oh, is it him or Flamin'? Looks like Amarok backs up. I think I'm supposed to be Flamin' maybe, or maybe it was a little bit of confusion either way though. But it looks like Amarok does end up taking a step back just to make sure that this duel stays as a 1v1. It might have been a situation where Amarok was supposed to go first and it's confusion. But I do appreciate Amarok for at least whether he was supposed to go first or not. I appreciate him for trying to keep it as a fair 1v1 as possible. And the Chicago's going to have an extra flame shock on him for a little bit here. Flamey does end up going for a bit of a dark back. Are you playing with a pet? Do you play with a succubus or are you just like solo right now? He might be, I think he was trying to fly solo, but he ended up swapping out to succubus. I'm not sure if he's playing the Grimoire build. He may be. Bonza fell. Chicago trinkets. Eats the fire damage early on, but as long as he can hide away from flame and hide away from the bombardment of chaos, but incinerates and all that chaos, fire, that might be okay. As we hit on that 2-minute mark pretty quickly here, Flamey just trying to see if he can open up a couple of gates, only gets one on Chicago as they're still looking for a bit of recovery. Chicago though is fairly healthy, got himself wall together with Guardian, every defensive as well as the grounding totem case. And each that Infernal is definitely going to add a little bit extra pressure as it's going to be a lightning bolt off of the Primordial. Big chaos but 1 second bolt to follow, Sunder by Chicago, it's going to be triggered by Flamin', Mordecai right after, Shadow Fury off of that. Immolate, does he have any more bolts? Looks like he's out of bolts, but he does have Bonzafeld and still does a lot of damage. Chicago is forced to burn a wall as they mostly play in this defensively right now. That is super unfortunate. Normally when you use a wall as a shaman, you want to be in there, you want to be using the wall to mitigate the enemy damage so you can stay in combat, but there you have to use it defensively. And I guess now you will have to just rely on the Guardian as you try to go for a last and double cast, but to follow, can you break out of it? Try to see if you can go for a grounding totem. It is going to help out quite a bit. Burrow, not going to play him for a second. Does he have any go off of that? Ghost souls are up, but his soul does get ripped out of his body, so it's going to be Chicago seeing reduced damage, but also reduced self-healing. Can't really recover super easily. Got himself Primordial. The soul is right over there, but definitely try to build up as much Maelstrom and use that in order to heal himself and recover. As Flamin' got himself plenty of those instant casts that are not as powerful as they were before, but still plenty of pressure. Chicago tries to go in for a Sunder, doesn't quite connect. Mortical sent in, allows Flamin' to get a Mortical Fear combo Immolate right after. Does not have the Chaos Bolts to follow, is going to get interrupted on the fire, but still can open up the portals into the realms of the Shadow. Shadow Fury right after, as Chicago gets himself the Fiery Wolves. Maybe that's where you can go for some fire damage, knocking back Flamin' just to make sure he doesn't get a proper cast into the Lightning Lasso right after, trying to see if he can lock him down for just a moment. Chicago just needs a couple more globes to take him out. Again, interrupt him on fire. Flaming taking a lot of damage, but it's going to be a Soul Burn, Shadow, Soulstone. Oh, no, Soulstone, Hellstone. And Chicago trying to see if he can chip away at his defenses from around the corner. I think Flaming does end up sacrificing Succubus. I think he goes in for Succubus when he needs CC, but then he'll sacrifice it just to get himself that raw damage. of the Grim War sacrifice as much as possible versus Chicago. And as long as he has an Emulator in Chicago, he'll be okay. Ripping Chicago's soul right now. It's going to be Chicago trinketing with an interrupt on the fear, still able to summon a lot of portals, at least one portal extra, but Flamin' taking a lot of damage. This is where Chicago can maybe go for the hit and run strats. Primordial with a lightning bolt, fear, does end up breaking out of it to Tremor. It's going to try to see if he can take down Flamin'. Lasso, I think it may be over-tricking for Flamin'. Did have a little bit of recovery. May need to go for Reflect and then gets Castle, but looks like Chicago does go in for the lava. Lashes as they get himself the lava elemental shaman, elemental wolfie. And he's trying to go for a bit of an odd duel with Amara, going for a nice little bow. It's an opportunity for Amarok to just continue the onslaught here and take down Chicago while they're still behind on some of their cooldowns, like the Trinket, like the Ghosties for a little bit, like the Generational, but Chicago is recovering back defensively as Amarok is going to be out in the open, does get ruined to Chicago with a stun. It's going to be Chicago eliminated totem. He's going to go for Burrow, cannot get knocked back by Amarok, is going to knock him up in the air instead. Lightning Lasso catches Chicago, trying to see if he can knock back the Elemental Shaman just to break the tether. Not enough. Is going to go for yet another knockback with that Shield Mastery. As Amarok does end up using a wall here, trying to see if he can set up another stun totem on Chicago. It is a double stun totem. Shoot one eliminated. Does end up frost shocking it. Light the lasso into Amarok. As long as the Elemental Shaman does not have a knockback, Chicago should be okay. It's going to be root for root. Both Shamans are entangled with one another. It is going to be static totem for Amarok, but Chicago breaks out of it, though. Has to sit the root the entire time. Has the mobility to reconnect. Big Ellie Blaster to Amarok. Got himself the Spirit Walker's Grace in order to give himself some casting while moving, but also uninterruptible for a short moment. Stunned by the Earth Elemental. Chicago just has to root that thing in place and maybe get himself a bit of a maelstrom. Has to reconnect with Amarok. Is able to recover a lot of health right now. Chicago getting pwned? Aaron, I don't know about that. I guess we'll see with this match though, yeah? Because I feel like Chicago did really well against Destruction. Let's see Chicago, you got some fan base over here. What is this? And it's going to be Burrow for Amarok. Doesn't use the defense offensively, just goes in for a defensive Burrow instead, which probably is a safer play, but Lasso, I think, seals the deal. Cannot knock the other Shaman back far enough, and Chicago does end up eliminating Amarok. The Elder Shaman played that admirably, but there's only so much you can do, because Enhancement does have a lot of mobility, lots of damage, and even though it's a melee class, it can still reach you from a good bit of distance. It's going to be Shady. Again, super invisible. It's got to be on my end, right? That he's just actually invisible. Void Eruption. Mind Games. Is it going to be grounding? I think it wasn't a grounding. I think Chicago just taking the Mind Games quick route onto Shady and just going to try to see if they can back away. Wait until the whole scene is over and then go in for a bit of healing once the Mind Games is off. It is going to be the Spirit Healing Stream Totem. Healing him, actually do quite a bit of healing at 32% dampening. Nice bit of passive healing, but you definitely want to establish that totem as early as possible just to let the HOTS or the periodic healing kind of roll over. Chicago taking a bit of damage, does end up going for a wall. Shady forced to go into Disperse as he felt pressured, but Chicago just trying to see if he can maybe back up and then maybe have another go versus Shady. Mind Blast to follow. Try to see if we get a couple of casts. It's going to be Quick Interrupt. Chicago trying to see if we can maximize some damage to follow. It's going to be a Shadow Crash right after him into a Vampiric Touch. Chicago just trying to see if he can find himself a bit of a break with Shady as they got himself a Siphon join in. As long as he can maybe disrupt any of those casts from Shady. Knock him to follow Thunder right after. Big damage. Oh my goodness. The big haymaker. He knocks him up and slams him down with a Thunder. That's so good. Oh my goodness, Thunder onto Harambe to follow, get a knockback right after, Axe Sauce into Chicago, sending out Demon Doggers. There's no way Chicago lives this right. It's going to be all these pets around you, double Felguard cleaving you down. There's nothing you can do, but definitely played that admirably. I think actually played against that entire team of 4, right? I think it was like Chicago 1v4. Diabolic is joining back in as a Destruction Warlock, trying to go for a fear. He's going to have a lot of demons to deal with. Harambe, as long as he can just send in the pets, got him so-called Dreadstalkers. It is so weird, by the way, as Destruction, or Demonology rather, that your call Dreadstalkers is not a instant cast anymore. The fact that you have to hard cast all of your pets, it is weird. I think the trade of being able to faster cast your Tyrant, faster cast your Vilephiend, faster cast those wolves, or doggos, I guess it's a nice little reversal, but like instance, I think was so much more convenient, so much burst here. Gonna be Harambe taking that Mortal Coil with him back behind the pillar. As Diabolic is out in the open, just absolutely get him mauled by these demons, cannot shake him off whatsoever. There's nothing you can do about it. There's either anything from little imps to demon doggons to a big old Felguard wreaking havoc, and Harambe does end up taking him out, or rather his demonic army that he set up took out Diabolicals. But well done is Harambe trying to see if he can bring it back for his team little by little. Who's up next? Is it going to be Griggs by chance? Is it going to be Beatman as another Shaman? We got to see Jiu-Jitsu. One of these boys got to go. And Beatman, he's feeling a little anxious. He just is pacing back and forth. He wants to play, but he's just waiting his turn as Jiu-Jitsu is going to be up next. That's a monk versus a warlock. I think a warlock honestly has a bit of a better advantage in the situation, personally. Although, I mean, it could be anyone's game, really, couldn't it? Because I think monk just doesn't have that much longevity. What is going on? This man is literally Super Saiyan all over the place. I feel like as soon as he just gets hit with a CC, the mobility and the crowd control just desyncs his character so badly that he literally just starts moving in as a Super Saiyan all over the screen. More demons spawning in. Jiu-Jitsu is just not in a great position right now. Does going for the karma. This is why Harambe needs to hold back a lot of his defense. Needs to find a way to CC Jiu-Jitsu. It is going to be an obelisk down, so the pets are going to ramp up quite a bit of damage. Fear into Jiu-Jitsu. Blasted through the karma immediately. Oh my goodness, Harambe! My goodness. That is a lot of damage. The man barely broke a sweat. He just signed out a good set of pets. Demon Doggos. Nice little stun with a fear in there too. Well done. Beatman is going to be up next as an enhancement Shamansman. Got himself Ghost Wolves up there ready as Harambe is looking for whatever recovery he can get at the 53% dampener here. All him and his all his pets get rooted out. Sunder by Beatman does not quite connect with that Sunder. Still, it should be able to proc out his Fear set if he's running a trinket immediately off of that Mortal Coil. Does not want to get set up with a Fear or a Stun or anything off of that one. Fear by Harambe onto the Earth Elemental. Knockup is going to happen by Beatman, but actually before he can go for a knockup, it's going to be poured for Harambe. Just try to see if he can maybe position away from it. Reflect onto the Ellie Blast. It is going to hurt for Beatman. He ends up hurting himself with a big Elemental Blast. Going to be Tyrant. Access to follow. Beatman has nowhere to go. As long as you keep a soul on the guy, that might just go down right here. Wait a second. Oh my god, the double Fell Guard as well as a Vile Feed. If that Tyrant gets a cast on you, you're over. Beatman trying to see if he can escape and disengage. Demon Dog is charged back in. His man is at no hold whatsoever. Fell Guards against around him. No Tyrant, but my god, Harambe is just bringing it back for his entire team. This guy is just on another level. Grix wants to give this man as much of an honor duel as possible. Harambe is at least given an opportunity to go for full first aid. Maybe if Grix wants to be even like extra generous, lets Harambe maybe drain life off of his like imps or something, or maybe not. I think Harambe just given an opportunity to at least get a breather, get his cooldowns back. I mean, that's an honor duel enough. And Grix, again, trying to be sure he's just extra careful with here, trying to give Harambe a chance, not advancing at him. Seeing the guy make a Hellstone here, he's like, hold it back, hold it back, hold it back. Okay, plenty of time was given. Harambe immediately porting, his pets are going to be surrounding him. It's going to be a Demonology Warlock versus Demon Warlock, so control of pets is going to be fundamentally huge here. Harambe is surrounded by a Vile Fiend as well as one of the pets is going to fear the Vile Fiend out of the way, reducing some of the damage he's going to take. That isn't actually summoned pet, as he's only now got only one Felguard to deal with, actually going to focus him on killing Grix's pets, while Grix is going to set up maybe potentially a set of like portals down in the middle. Stun to Harambe, those pets are still going to start wreaking havoc. Unless you're just constantly healing from all these pets, there's only so much you can do. Grix, Harambe needs to send in pets over to Grix as well. Grix has plenty of defenses to work with here, and you really got to start chipping away at his defenses little by little. Harambe with a big Tyrant, trying to see if he can make a play. Reflect is up, can't really be hit. Wait a second, Reflect for Reflect, Grix still couldn't do it. Oh my god, hit with a Mortal Coil. Oh my goodness, I don't think he might have actually sent a Mortal Coil at Harambe, and I think he came in back return to the sender. Harambe came in, man. Look at this guy. My goodness. Good name, my man. Oh my god. Good name, good place. Harambe brings it back for his team, dude. Holding down the fort. Well done. After a hell of a game that Chicago had, for Harambe to come back like this, that was insane. Demonology Warlock kind of good, huh? Oh my god. Oh man. All right, let's get us another one going. Chicago as well as Flamin'. Let me know if you guys got bodies, if you're good to go, or if you need more help getting bodies. Let me know, boys. Let me know, let me know, let me know. That was a hell of a game, dude. Reverse swooping them like the Cavs at 16. Bro, I wish I knew the reference. I'm gonna guess it's a sports reference, though. I wish I had the reference, though. I really, really do, man. I really do. I'm that much of a nerd. It's not even funny. Literally all I do is play WoW. The only sport I'm like mildly familiar with is fencing, right? And not like fencing, like making fences for people, right? For a house. But like the lunge, sword play, Zorro kind of style, Two Musketeers, that kind of fencing. Like with a big old, like those dark helms or whatever, and like usually white jackets with like a silver vest, maybe. Depends on what type. Depends on what you're going for. NBA? Okay. Yeah, all I know is fencing, dude. I know, unless it's saber, foil, or epi, I have no idea. I don't get the reference, dude. Although I wish I did. I wish I did. I think it's just the problem of not growing up in US, right? It just, because I hang out with friends or whatever, and they talk about sports all the time, and I have such a good time, and it's like, I just never got into it, and I feel like at this point, I just don't even have time to learn any of it. You know what I mean? But I like the gatherings, right? Like Super Bowl, when the commercials were good and all that, right? And Super Bowl was, I don't know, entertaining? I don't know, maybe it's just I have a roasting a glass of, but it definitely felt like it was more entertaining to be part of years ago. But then again, maybe in good company, it's still really fun. Don't worry, soccer is real football too, at least. I think soccer is real football too, at least. I mean, technically, they're both football, and you know why they call it soccer? So, we call it soccer because of the... So, all of them are football, like rugby, American football, and I guess the football, right? What everybody knows is football. It all depends what kind of football it is. The American football is called the gridiron football because of the gridiron. Soccer is called soccer because of the word associative football, because it associates with the word foot, so you kick the ball with your foot. That's why the short word for associative football, associative soccer. That's the reason why it's there. It's just to delineate it. But it's like, it's not technically a wrong word to call it because it's just like a shorthand for associative football. It's just faster to say soccer, you know? So it's technically not a wrong word to use, if that makes any sense. So like when Americans or somebody calls it soccer, most of them probably don't even know the associative football meaning or whatever. It's just an easy way to separate it. But technically to call it soccer is just shorthand for associative football, which isn't also wrong. I guess it's just in a way to say football, but it's separated from like a different kind of football. But yeah, I don't know if you call it like gridiron football or gridiron in like outside the US though. Like you just call it American football, right? Because it's like their own place that plays it. And then there's rugby, right? But that's their own football. It's just a different type of football. I don't know when I learned all this, but I did learn it a while ago, and that stuck with me in my head. I was like, oh, technically it's not wrong, but like, you get what I mean though, right? It's just a way to delineate it. So when I say soccer, you know, like, okay, he's a dumb American, but like, I know what he means though. Because even I call it soccer just because where I grew up, I guess. You know, I don't want to talk. Yeah, that's at least like a different sport. It was a lot of fun and I had really, really good trainers. I even took fencing class in in college, just because I needed like a PE activity or whatever. And the trainer, I basically didn't do the class. I just basically helped out on the trainer every time I was in the class. I was just helping people the entire time, just because he knew me. He'd seen me in tournaments before, like local tournaments, and he knows that I've been practicing with my trainer from back in the day. Because my trainer that I had for fencing and the guy that was teaching the class, they were kind of like rivals in a way. So he was like, "Oh, it's interesting. I have that guy's guy. Okay, cool. Yeah, you know this thing. So yeah, can you just help out in the class? I'll just give you like an A+." I'm like, yeah, sure. I was cool with that. So I just helped him set up. I helped him do all these things. I enjoyed it, man. I had plenty of time before the class too, so I could get there early, help get the blades out or whatever, and just kind of assisted. It was really cool. It was really, really cool. I did the same thing when I had to do languages in college. So I did Russian. Felt like cheating, but the teacher was just like, all right. I don't even know if it's worth saying now, but basically you had to do like 2 courses worth of language. But the professor that was doing the Russian, she's also like, she's Ukrainian, but she was well versed in Russian as well as Ukrainian and a couple other Slavic languages, like she was linguist or whatever. So she said, hey, so I'll talk to the school, and it was me and my twin both going to the same college, right, in the same class. She was like, I'll get you credits for 2 classes worth of, if you just assist. Like, you don't actually have to do any of it. I'm not gonna give you tests, but if you can be there for like the tests and help other kids in their practice or whatever, and just help out, like I'll talk to the school and get you 2 credits worth of, just to make sure you complete college on time or whatever. Because I was kind of like really cutting it close, so it helped out a ton. But yeah, Twin. Yes, I am a twin. So if you think, you're like, wow, Dal, you're allowed to handle once in a while. You go in here, hopped up on coffee, yelling into the mic constantly. Imagine two of me, dude. Imagine two of me doing that. Imagine two of me commenting over. By the way, Chicago, are you ready? Because Flamin is ready. Is Chicago ready? Let me know if you need to look for more. Imagine two of me commentating like a arena tournament. It's the same voice, yelling twice. It's like an echo. Except my twin doesn't really play WoW anymore. He used to play WoW, and then he started playing like every other MMO, and it's basically just like he stopped playing WoW around WoD. That was like his tipping point, and then he just kind of plays every other MMO here and there and tries to play variety. But yeah, imagine the defensive swords cut or you just poke. So a lot of them are not really sharp at the end, like a saber, but just like a big old thing of sword, just like kind of thinnish, but not the thinnest. And at the end, instead of like being sharp, it just kind of curls into it. So, but if you get hit by it, like the slashes, oh, they're not gonna cut, but they'll definitely leave a mark. And with saber, you hit as hard as you can, as fast as you can. You don't really worry about the other person's safety. You beat the hell out of them. So like if you hit them like, if they hit them with like a hand that doesn't have a glove on it, you'll definitely cut into it. Yeah, you could definitely make some damage happen. Yeah, and if you like hit on, like the helms cover the neck as best as they can, but if you somehow get it under there and you hit them on the neck, yeah, you can make some damage happen. There've been some close calls here and there. Is Chicago ready or not? Hold on, are we ready? Sorry, I think if you answered or not, but yeah, there's been some like those hurt. Then there's the epi, which is kind of like you have basically like this, instead of like a tip that curls, there's like almost like a button at the end of it, right? It's metal, everything's metal, and these blades you kind of want to thrust into the person, and it's all about keeping the blade level, and it's basically hitting the person before they hit you. Those have a very blunt feel to it, and those can deliver like blunt force trauma. Like if you really poke it into it, it's just so blunted, you can hurt somebody. You're not gonna cut it, but you're gonna hurt. Then there's the epi, which is more like the blade is more flimsy, and it has more of like a curve that you can kind of do with the bends or whatever if you're really got enough strength to it. And you're basically just trying to strike person's like jacket. Those are a lot more lighter, but like you can still deliver a force. Like if that thing is straightened out and just hits them in the sternum, like you can still hurt somebody. So you can still make some damage happen, but like you're not really going to be cutting like cutting him up or anything like that, you know what I mean? Not carving somebody. Chicago News on Mods, by the way, boys. If you guys want to join in pre-raid group, Legacy Raid, type in 5 in a search and you can join in, my boy Chicago. They're waiting. How'd it come into Bludgeon Lessons with Dal? I mean, talking about offensive blades, yeah. I mean, epi blades in particular, they're really thick. They don't really bend well. And the idea, again, is you're supposed to like keep it straight out. You got a big old bell guard for your hand. And the idea is to tag the enemy before they tag you at any cost. You're just trying to hit them. So you're trying to make sure your blade is like parallel to the floor to make sure that they can't hit your hand. And you want to have your hand too far down, too far up. Because if somebody hits you, I mean, that just hurts. I don't care how much padding you're wearing. That is going to hurt no matter what. I think if you hit somebody in the shoulder hard enough when you're fully lunging at them, like full body, you could probably dislocate his shoulder with just like a single one of those blades, dude. And they're thick at the end. Very, very thick. Like you can either get one with a metal tip that's like a button, so you're running the sword. You kind of have them connected like to a machine, right? So basically have this like wire, like imagine like a fork. And has a wire running down your arm, through your body, through the back, and it connects to the machine. And as soon as like the button is pressed in, the machine goes off, right? It's like go bing, and there's a light on and everything, so you can see who got the first touch or whatever. So like getting hit with the metal can be quite annoying, quite painful. But when you do the practice swords, you don't have the metal ones. You have the rubber tip at the end. Those can really, I mean, those have a lot more like they're a lot more firm, and they're made to make sure they don't like wear out easily. Those really have like. It's almost like getting hit with like a ball at the end of a sword, and I feel like that just adds more pressure. I don't know what it is. All right, we're just hopping on this word in a second. Okay. Chicago's ready. Okay, one other team swapping one guy, then good to go. So give me like 5 seconds, Chicago. I'd say honestly looks pretty cool. Sadly, I've never done it on my list of things to do below airsoft raid. Oh, another thing you should always do at some point is go archery. I did archery for a Boy Scout camp at some point. I was in Boy Scouts, never really got super far with it. But we did this like jamboree Boy Scout camp thing one summer. It was awful. Showers were not working. You had to do everything you could in order to keep yourself like hygienic. At least we had a lake. But like, man, it was rough, and the sun was piping hot the entire time. I had to wake up at crack ass of dawn to get through whatever courses you chose to do. I decided to do the most relaxing thing. I picked archery, and it was the most fun ever. My God, we had compound bows. I don't know what it is, man. I can never really get the strength to like draw clean. It always slapped my wrists. I had to wear those wrist guards. Otherwise, I would walk back to camp and look at it, just went through my emo stage, which just slashes across my wrist. And it just looks so awful, but it's, I loved it, man. It was the first thing I did in the morning. You wake up fully groggy. You go over there, pull back the bow, and just shoot some damn arrows. It is so, so good. It's relaxing. It's so good. I loved it. I got like the out of the entire camp for like the entire because we had a bunch of like sessions of like people doing archer or whatever, and they were challenging people's scores whenever you go practicing and how people improve, and there was like a big final test at the very end. You can find Flamin in the group. Flamin is good to go. Flamin's group would be, I think, in the. Are you swapping them out? Flamin, do you need help? Where's this group listed? Need help? Need help? Forming group. Hold on, because Tara is having a hard time joining. Tara having. Okay, invite. Okay, Tara, I can get you in here in a bit. Yeah, I'll have him invite me, pass my lead, all that stuff. Molten Core Legacy. Okay, Molten Core Legacy, Tara, check that real quickly, because that's up right now. I didn't say that earlier, but try that again. Molten Core Legacy, just Legacy Raid and type in number 5 of the search. You should be able to see him, hopefully. Yeah. Forward again, Lel. Okay. Okay, they were having some hard time getting +1 as well. Okay, so Chicago also got it listed. So Chicago needs uno más. Again, if you guys want to join Chicago, is Seawork around? Can we just see my man Seawork in here? After watching Harlan play, I want to watch my man Seawork in here. Is he around? Yo. Yo, I'm gonna tell Seawork Chicago needs +1. Yo, if we get Seawork in here, could we have him go first? Or at least let him decide if he wants to go first, depending on like matchup. Just because so I feel like Seawork, every time he joins us, he always runs into like a really, really unlucky matchup. Really, really badly. Alrighty. Oh, we got Boom. Okay. I think speed boom. So we got everybody there. Ready? Cool. Yeah, they just filled, I think. Yeah, Chicago. Let me know if you're ready, my guy. Oh wait, what? We got 6. Oh, is somebody dropping? We got Seawork? Oh no. Okay, so we got Tara in. We're just trying to see what Chicago does with like 6, 5. Are we good? Are we all Gucci? Are we all good to go? Maybe? I think we're good, yeah? We'll see though. Okay, I think we're good now. Okay, we'll get Seawork in here whenever we can. That's what we'll do. Where is my invite spectator match? We did Black and Cold. Ooh. Was there a Lordaeron? I feel like we never get to the Lordaeron. I was gonna drop Seawork could play, but he left. The Seawork could play? Yeah. I don't think Seawork wanted to like, what is it? Take over you, kick you out, Chicago. I think he just wanted to just join into the space, but if not, we're fine. You know what I mean? Oh my god, double monk on the other team. I like how we got double shaman, double monk on team 2. Talk about variety, but then again, team 1 has a double warlock, so I guess at least one is a destro, one is a demo, so it's a little different. You know, one is a pet class, one is a real class. That sounds so bad. When I put it like that, that sounds so bad. Even Diabolicus said, you know what, pet class wins. Let's go pet class. That's so good right there, man. Alrighty, to Twitch. We got ourselves together, team 1 together with Amarok as an elemental shaman. We got Flamin on the team as a destruction warlock, Harambe on the demonology, Jash and Narius over on the warrior. Oh yeah, Jash, I think I remember you from like a week ago, right? Oh, looking good. We got ourselves Shady. Are you still going to be invisible when you dismount? I feel like we do see you whenever you're mounted, but as soon as you remove yourself, you're just a ghost. Beatman over for the team 2, double enhanced shaman with Chicago in the back. We got ourselves Jujutsu as well as Sensei, double Monkus, and Diabolicus waiting his turn as a demonology warlock. Is it going to be Beat first? Looks like they're sending out Beat off the bat on the beaten path. Is it on the beaten path or off the beaten path? As Josh goes in for a re-stealth immediately with that shadow mode. I guess you could save shadow mode for later as a warrior, but like, or you could just use it now. Beatman is going to go for a bit of a knockup on the Jash. It's going to add a little bit of damage, but it's going to be lead. But Jash does not have reflect for that elemental blast. Trying to go for big bleeds on the Beatman, who's going to go for a wall. Big Sunder by the Shaman as Jash looking to catch up a little bit of healing. Got himself a little bit of that enraged gem, but no more trinket anymore. Beatman does end up using a lot of his defenses just to fight versus Jash. Is going to go for a little bit extra health together with enraged regen as well as impending victory. Charging back in towards Beat together with the reflect. Got himself a lot of damage, but does he get to reconnect as Beatman trying to see if he can just kind of bail away, hit him with a frost shock. Ellen Blast is knocking it back, just trying to kind of limit his approach. He's gonna go for a hex as he charges in to deny him any kind of damage. I think until Beatman can get himself a bit more Maelstrom. The Wolfies do fade. Stormbolt onto the Shaman. Jash gets himself an opportunity to at least get some damage done, but it's gonna be a big storm shock or storm. What is it called? Storm Shockwave to follow. I forget about Shockwave. Oh my god. And the Alien Blast from Beatman as he's looking for a better recovery. I am not used to warriors running Shockwave as they're like one of the primary stuns, by the way. They made it so that Shockwave is an actual 3-second stun. So it's about similar in duration as like, if not a 4-second stun. It's about the same, if not similar duration to a Stormbolt, right? And it can also be 100% crit, so you can do quite a bit of damage and does quite a lot of damage too. Gonna be a soul ripped out of Beatman, trying to go for a bit of blast, but he's actually gonna have his damage reduced by 25%. While his soul is severed from his body, his healing as well as damage is reduced by 25%. So Flaming can use that in order to rip out the soul during his offensives, or when Beatman is trying to go on the defensive, you can actually put some pressure on the guy, kind of like a Mortal Strike effect, together with a big curse of weakness type of thing. Gonna be portals open up for Flamin. You definitely need to go for like a triple portal combo if he wants to go for the big go. Does end up using a wall really early, so for Beatman this is the perfect opportunity. Just need to make sure he got himself a little bit extra sustain. As long as he got himself past the sustain like the healing spring totem, like that's gonna help him out a ton. This is going to be a little bit of a hiding behind the pillar. Beatman got a full root onto Flamin. Big blasters onto Flamin, who is going to go for a big Warlock Soulstone Hellstone. Boarding back for a second. Does Beatman chase or does he back up? Looks like he's going to back up for a little bit. Just going for a big blasters onto Flamin. He got himself a shot of burn together with fear. Could go for the succubus. CC Beatman. As long as he's actually careful with the succubus, he may be okay. Flamin got himself plenty of defense just in order to mitigate that elemental blast flying into his face. As Beatman trying to see if he can find himself a little bit of survivability. Mortal Coil around the corner. Got himself a little bit of damage onto those pets. Into a succubus. You see a trinket out of it. Thunder onto Flame and force the trinket out of him. As an Infernal goes crashing down onto the Shaman. More portals open up for Flamin. As a big elemental blast does give him opportunity here. I think Soul got to put down a Shaman, but it's still got plenty of damage with Flamin. Flamin had no hold whatsoever. The Ghost Raptors do work as an Incinerate goes flying in. Nothing that Flamin could do at the end as Beatman just absolutely clobbered him down. It's gonna go for a lasso off of that. But he can't even go anywhere. Amarok trying to see if he can knock in the back, but the Santa Totem bing bong the back end, trying to see if he can break the tether of that light lasso, but the guy can't literally go anywhere at all. Gonna be a knockback into Amarok as the Stormkeeper is arriving for Amarok. Beatman does not drop down on the ground and turn for that one. I feel like that would have been a perfect situation, but he's got plenty of healing. Only 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes into the duel. 15% dampener, plenty of opportunity for the enhancement shaman to at least keep himself afloat. And Amarok also has plenty of healing to work with. As long as he can disconnect from Beatman, he'll be always a-okay. Beatman got himself Ghost Raptors, charging in, big Sunder to follow. Needs to be careful because there's going to be stuns, there's going to be knockbacks, there's going to be a lot out of Amarok. As he's trying to see if he can reposition behind the pillar. There's going to be a mad alien blast sent into Amarok as he tries to send in a Primordial. Maybe he wants to go for big lava burst. There's going to be a grounding totem for a second. Needs to break past the totem as best as possible. There's going to be short stun by the Earth Elementals. Amarok catches himself a little bit of healing stun onto Beatman. What's that going to be a second stun? Is going to eat the capacitor. Does end up eliminating last second. Just having to go for a burrow to break out of that static totem. Knock up into Amarok. Trying to go for a knockback, but I don't think Beatman even went anywhere. I think it's the root totem that ends stopping him. Mad alien blast almost took down Amarok. He lived with like 2 health. Burrow right after. Does Beatman have anything for this one? He just needs to get the guy to pop up for a second. Oh, doesn't even matter. I think honestly it was a ghosty raptor that just ended up cloning the guy as soon as he popped back up. He had no health whatsoever. Harambe is up next. Demonology Warlock, who just absolutely decimated through the competition earlier today. Beatman trying to see if he can go for a knockback, doesn't quite get Harambe, and is going to end up rooting some of these pets over on the platform on top of the tombstone. Going to be a big Tyrant joining Sunder to follow. Beatman got another to survive this. Oh, the Tyrant has got himself so much freedom, so much open space with a big crippling slow onto the Shaman. Can't escape that thing whatsoever. You see that a couple extra casts, short-term line of sight, couple of casts, and it's over, and taking a lot of the demonic momentum onto Yujitsu. Yujitsu trying to see if he can close the gap. It looks like he's porting all over the place. Honestly, it looked like he was right next to Harambe with a roll, but I guess he wasn't. Harambe is going to be able to set himself up, got himself full portal as well as the gateway next to the tombstone right here on the uphill of the Lordaeron Arena. Karma early on for Yujitsu does get himself an interrupt on the Harambe. Still plenty of opportunity for him to go for a defensive together with the Dark Pact as well as Reflect, trying to see if he can maybe reflect any damage out of Yujitsu. I don't really know what you can reflect. Maybe some of the Zuen action. Big damage onto Yujitsu. Got himself dampened harm. Fear to follow right after. Gonna be Harambe catching up a little bit healing. Definitely needs to make sure he's stabilized for the next competitor. And Yujitsu does get himself a diffuse magic, which maybe he can use in order to live Harambe, but so much damage out of this Warlock is physical with all these pets, together with Demon Dog, his Felguard, as well as the Vile Fleet, all cloning at Yujitsu, all physical damage. It's a nice mix of damage, even as Yujitsu trying to see, oh yeah, that's what you can do. Maybe the Imps, you can reduce some of that damage, but a Felguard walking in with a Legion Strike, there's nothing you can do with that diffuse magic. You literally can't stop it. I think it may be like, besides Hunters, the only caster that deals this much physical damage. Diabolical's trying to go for a bit of demonology as well. Got himself full Tyrant of the way. That's going to be Tyrant as well for Harambe. Just to make sure he's controlling these pets as best as possible. As long as he can somehow deal with a Tyrant from Diabolical's. Looks like the Tyrant is just following, looking at Harambe, but he's not attacking him. Wait a second, the Tyrant from Diabolical's does nothing. He's literally just waddling after Harambe, not hitting him, and Diabolical's the one taking all the damage. What is going on? That's going to be Big Observer. Mortal Coil sent in. Diabolical's trying to see if he can survive here. Harambe had no help whatsoever. Looks like he does go for some the enemy cast versus Diabolicals and does get beamed down by the Observer. Even SP Shady is already getting beamed down as we speak, as Diabolicals had no help whatsoever. Silence to follow, trying to go for Wood Eruption. This is why Shady needs to be extra careful. Axe Toss could be bad. Does go for Disperse. Just needs to let the dots take Diabolicals. He just needs a little bit more damage on him. Just all he needs is just an execute or two. As Diabolical's got no health, as Machete, playing it careful, playing it safe, probably the right way to do so, does end up going for a couple of deaths onto the Warlock to take him out. Definitely, I think it was a good idea to go back behind the pillar, couple of those flat shields, burn some of that mana, recover, make sure you're extra safe because the Warlocks can definitely easily snowball, I guess, just about any class, and especially Shadow Priest. Like if you misplay it, casting a Shadow spell, get Axe Toss on it, blocked out of Disperse, like there's just nothing you could do. Trinket immediately Fear onto Sensei with a Sun to follow. Shady better be extra careful. He got a lot of luck to really work with here. Sensei just take it up completely. Let's try to see if he can take it down. Try to go for the Panda Racial at the end, but couldn't really take down Sensei at that point. And the Monk is able to take him down. My goodness, dude. Bateman does break out with 3. Oh, Harambe trying to see if he can claw back for this team little by little, bit by bit, but Diabolicals was able to turn around on him very quickly. That Observer Demon, I really think changes the dynamic between like how casters PvP against one another. It does such a good job, honestly. Let's get us another going here, boys, yeah? Yo, Flamin' as well, Chicago, let me know when you boys are ready. It will be good to go for even more 5-5 1v1 duels. We're at how many of these? Oh my. Need 1 Harambe left for today. All good, all good. We can maybe swap them out for somebody else, yeah? Where is the Fire Mage from last week? A Tambone, but also an Undead Mage. Was it, I'm so bad with names, so I can't even think of like what his name was. Flaming, you probably know him, right? He was out here before. Fire Mage, Undead Mage, Ragnaros. I think. I'm so bad with names, man. I'm so bad with names. Listing. Okay, so Flamin got a group listed up. Chicago, let me know if you're ready or if you're looking for more bodies as well. Seavark, if you want to join Flame, you can. You will have to fight against enhancement shamans. Other group got a spot open, but you face it against. Did he get you? Did he get Seavark in there? He did get Seavark! Oh, got a mage. Yep, just a random mage. We'd have never met the mage before. Does it feel like Seavark? But yeah, Mrs. Seavark. I'll try to see if he's down for it or not. Just letting him know the matchups he'll be facing. It's gonna be his favorite class, man. Absolutely favorite class. Chicago, let me know if ready. Let me know if ready. Oh, we are looking for one more for Chicago, it looks like. Okay. Also, Seavark, I would like to hear your opinions on mages. I don't know if he's in chat. Over in the 10-1-5, because they look real good. Like, ridiculously good. Like, what is that? Looks so good. Also, after this chat, I'm probably gonna get food, and I'm gonna do some keys, man. I feel like this week, I've not really been able to do a lot of keys besides Underrod. And now, I finally got myself my best assault weapons. Oh my god, you have no idea, man. It's looking like a red rework. It looks so good, though. Dude, I think for PvE, it looks so good. Giving them back Flame Strike for PvE purposes. Oh, dude, it's such a good change. It is such a good change. Yes. Also, physically be able to play healing build too. Yes, I do think it's really cool that they gave him like a mass absorb, a mass invis. Mass invis for PvE in dungeons is going to be awesome. You guys can replace rogues easily. Like, I could just kind of call quits at that point. But man, Arcane isn't changing too much. From what I understood with Arcane, they're kind of like toning back. They're making some... They're baking in certain talents into other talents, so you're just giving them more talent points to work with. That's really about it. And they're changing up some of the other ones, like defensively. They're making some of the weaker talent choices a little bit stronger, from what I understood. But yeah, I'm really excited about Fire. Really excited about the overall, like, the class talents. I do hope... There's gonna be a few points, yeah. I do hope from, like, a PvE perspective. I feel like Frost Mage has gotten stale to play. And there's some issues with it. Like, it's a really good 2-target cleave class. And that's really it. Even though it's a class with blizzards, even though it's a class with a frozen orb, you imagine it's like a big AoE class, which is what it used to be. And it had a really strong single target with like a frostbolt build, and it had sounds to set up that kind of playstyle, but it's just not really super like great at that either. And compared to every other mage PvE profile, there were like big cooldowns, big buttons, and line up those cooldowns during specific moments, and they do damage. Frost Mage is like, okay, you kind of want to frostbolt as much as you can, and it's all about uptime of icy veins. You're more very sustained. So like expectations for a mage, right, to be bursty in most cases, but then you have Frost, which is sustain, and most casters are very much play around burst. Like Warlocks play around burst, Elemental Shamans play around burst, even Shadow Priests play around burst. So you have like a mage that plays around sustain, and it just doesn't fit the current meta. And at that point, like if you really wanted like a sustaining class, you probably pick up like a PM Hunter, just because they do good decent single target damage, and they got that crazy mobility where mages you can't really move. Not really. So I've been talking to my guildies. We all feel like Rogue needs to get some changes too. It's about that time. But mage changes are really good. We are hoping to see some kind of Frost stuff as well. Rogues need a red revamp treatment. Dude, yeah, especially after CC changes. I don't disagree with that with Con team. for like PvE perspective and PvP. PvE perspective, I think we're definitely in need because we have a lot of those talents where it's just like, okay, you have to take a point just so you can get a real good talent. And we also had some talents that just haven't really been working. There are some mechanics that just feel like bogged down when you think about it. Like our talent tree started off like very beginning of the expansion with all the different talent trees. Our talent tree was in a really good spot. But as it started like changing up talent trees and improving the pathing for a lot of the other classes, went from like one of the better planned to now as classes improved, they go to the top. Then another improve goes to the top, one improve goes to the top, other improves goes to the top, and a bunch of classes starting to overlap. And so now we're at the top of like some of the better design ones, even though it wasn't all perfect. But as some are getting more perfected, we're dropping down a little bit. And the class right now is in a weird spot for PvE, where we require like the Onyx Amulet, we require rings from last tier, we require certain trinkets, certain weapons that do proc damage to supplement our damage. Whereas mages, a lot of the fire damage is going to do damage, and you can just go for stats in order to increase the damage. Even the some degree, even paladin to some degree, right? Bunch of versa, bunch of haste, a little bit of crit, and then some procs here and there. But for the most part, it's your class abilities that do a lot of the damage. For rogues right now on all three specs, on all fronts, we need externals for PvE content to do damage. But also we don't scale super well because haste, we don't need to scale with it. None of the specs scale with haste anymore. Since of the talents, we got a lot of energy, lots of energy regen. We don't need haste. Stat eliminated. Mastery, some value to it, but like Outlaw doesn't use mastery at all. Okay, so then specs is scaling crit, but you can only have so much crit. Eventually you hit a crit cap. Then what is scaled with? The Versa, which is what two of the three specs are scaling with now. Versa does not scale well long term. So yeah, it just doesn't quite work super well. You know, like there needs to be more emphasis on mastery or just a restructure of talents where we just get more raw damage where we want secondary stats, but then you need a bit of an overhaul or maybe change secondaries in terms of what else they do, right? Because Outlaw Mastery doesn't cut it, but if it goes to real mastery, then second mastery, crit, and haste, versa. At least we have somewhere to go, you know? Chicago as well as Flamin'. Looks like both of you guys are ready. As soon as you guys do list, we'll be good to go, by the way. Arcane is gonna get juiced up from brute power. Yeah, dude, it's so good. 50% damage into a button. I know, and you also play that the shooting button, right? You also play this one. Passively, you'll be able to pick up the so you know rune of power. Enchantress flow is like right here, and you pick it up like almost like mandatory. You naturally have Enchantress flow plus a juiced up all damage roll around. It's gonna be so good. You can just go. You have damage, go. Don't think about it, go. It's gonna be so good. Only thing I don't like is the massive Viz base tree for PvP talents changed. Yes, I do agree. That means you will have to get yourself a PvP talent from here, from the honor, if you want to get a shorter version. However, for dungeons, it is a really, really good utility to bring. I understand there's going to be some weird, awkwardness with it from customizing your talents. But for PvE, it is incredibly good in dungeons. Like, that's a huge utility. It's awesome utility. But yeah, for PvP, I do hope they end up solving that somehow, right? Like maybe they'll just make it so that you don't have to take it and you can just pick up a talent for Massive Viz, and it'll be the same thing for PvP, right? Kind of how Paladins can get Spell Warden, like only Prot normally has it, but Red can have it in PvP. So maybe they can just add Massive Viz the same in Viz for PvP, so you don't have to talent into it from the class tree. Maybe. Okay, let me see if I can queue boys up. Lordaeron, we did Lordaeron. Let's do Dalaran. Let's do it. We're good to go. Yeah, the new PvP talent makes sense. Massive Viz is just 4 minutes shorter CD and work in combat. Yes. Yes, I would just do like this PvP talent, but you have to talent into the base tree as well. So I think what they should do is they should break that, right? So you don't have to do that, right? Just give them like a Massive Viz PvE version and a Massive Viz PvP version. So like you don't talent them to the class tree and you just talent to the PvP version, and you just get like same Massive Viz for PvP. So you have options, right? You could either take it from the class tree, but it'll be like a longer cooldown one, or you just pick up the PvP talent and you don't have to invest into it. Because then Arcane does not, because Arcane right now takes Massive Viz anywhere from the PvP talents. And then you can, this way you can invest into other class stuff and still pick that as a PvP talent. Like break that need to have both. Just break the need, right? Basically give it like, oh, you can only have one or the other. You can either have the PvE version or the PvP version, you can't have both. Do you know the name of the stewardess are really beautiful, disrespectful? Oh my god, man. That's beautiful and disrespectful. Honestly, I mean, that's basically my pipeline of content over here. Let's be honest. They just try to be apt, you know. They just try to be accurate with it. So honestly, that's what I call my Sony Vegas, my editing software, just sewer system, the Dalaran sewer system. Let me get some content out of this one. Switch. We got us a team 1 together with Amarok over for the team 1. We got Flamin on the team as well. It looks like Flamin is immediately going to be first up versus the Paladin's Beatman. Just going in blinding everybody. This man is just an absolute crusader. Charging out, not giving Flamin even much of a breathing opportunity. What is going on? Wait a second, Nira, what is this man doing? Nira, what are you doing? I think he's backing up. I think Nira maybe figured out what's happening. I hope this guy realizes. Wait, who are you doing? What are you doing? What's happening? Hold on a second. Wait, is Flamin having to fight 2 guys at a time? Why is this Worgen Warlock randomly attacking Flamin? Can somebody see this man? Beat, what is happening? Both you and the Worgen Warlock are attacking this. Somebody tell this guy he's not dueling. Flamin is taking 2 enemies at a time. He's getting 2v1'd. It looks like maybe SP Shady is off to rescue, at least to control one of them. What is going on? I don't understand. Even Beatman is like confused. He's not even sure. Hold on, Beatman. Back up. Beatman. This Warlock for some reason just ran in. And it started fighting the guy while you're fighting. Hold on. Can we get a rematch for Flamin? If it's still around, can we res him? Can we redo a bit of a rematch? Can we get him back in? Can we get a rematch? Can we get him res? Can we get him back in the game? Give him another round? Hold on. This is mayhem. Yeah, this is definitely mayhem. Yo. I suggest we do a rematch. We get Flamin back in. We'll let the Warlock go first, because this man is a little confused. Let him play it out first. And then we can have Beatman go right after. Is that cool? Is that fine? Is that allowed? Can we just do that real quickly? Real quickly. Just give him a chance, because I feel like the man got 2v1'd. Hold on, Beatman, back up for a second. What are you doing? Hold on. Just let him res. Oh my god, Beatman. Beatman does not want to get to res at all. He just wants to go. He just wants to go. What is even happening? Oh my god. Let chaos take the world, ruin the quote. All good. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Hold on a second. Yo, just seriously, just... Hold on. What if they kill Beatman and then the Chicago res Beatman? Well, let's Shady res Flamin, right? And get a rematch. Just get a proper rematch. Beatman, just back up, let him res a guy. Beatman, just back up, let him res a guy. What's going on? It says not on my watch. I'm allowing it. I'm allowing it. What do you mean? It was confusion. Because Beatman should have probably backed up if he saw the other Warlock attacking the guy. Is how I feel about it. Yeah, Emerald, could you res him real quickly? Could you res him? Just to let him get a proper chance to duel? Shady is trying to see if he can fight Beatman. He's at least keeping his attention. There's an opportunity for Emerald to at least maybe get the other res. Shady's trying to go for a bit of damage, but oh my god, the horrifying effects. Oh, there's only so much you can really do about it. Wait, I think Beatman is not even like actually throwing judgments. I think it's literally him like proc judgments. Literally just proc judgments. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Give at least my man Flamin a proper duel. Beatman, please don't interrupt him, please. You can fight him. Okay, Flamin. You versus Beatman. Emmerich, at least just heal the guy. Please just heal him. At least give him like an opportunity. Yes. Just give him a chance. Beatman, you'll just fight Flamin. Flamin was not given a proper clean duel there. We had the Warlock, Nira, attacking him. I guess got confused. Did not know they were supposed to go first or whatever. Let Flamin at least get a proper honor duel versus him. Is this fair? I think that will fix it. I think that will fix it. What's up, 680, my guy? Been a while? How you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good one. Let's go down reset. I mean, you could let the cooldowns reset, but I mean, Beatman mostly got everything back, right? Minus the trinket, he got bubble and everything. He doesn't have lay in hands, but I don't even know if he really needs it. But maybe he does. But at least Flamin is giving him like, hey, you get an opportunity, given as much time to wait as much as you want to. He's trying to make it as fair as possible. That was just pandemonium at the very beginning. I am glad we got some fresh blood, but this is sometimes what happens when you get fresh blood in these duels, man. You just got people going in, not really sure exactly how these things work, but honestly, as long as we get to solve it and as long as we get to course correct here, it will be okay. I do appreciate SP Shady for self-sacrifice. At least keep it Beatman. distracted while we try to figure out what to do here. I do appreciate the sacrifice. Alright, Beatman. My man. You versus Flamin'. Are we ready? This man is waiting for a trinket. He got lay on hands in 30 seconds. Honestly, he can get in there. Because with Forbearance, lay on hands will probably be back up at some point or another. Last looking sexy play, Daffy and Evoker. Dude, they're so good right now. They're definitely so good. Stun as Flamin' finally gets himself a proper honor duel. Proper go versus Beatman. It's going to be meter trick and he's got himself portals available. No, Amarok, no. Don't res him, it's fine. Don't res him, no, it's okay. We don't need more reses. It's gonna get confusing. I appreciate you. No more reses, it's just gonna get confusing. I don't want any more confusion. I feel like Beatman and Speciati had a proper honor duel, proper 1v1, more or less. We'll figure it out from there. Flamin' taking a lot of damage, so Beatman is just relentless. Oh my god! Massive strikes from the Paladin. Not letting Flamin' even get a breather whatsoever. Trying to see if we can change up Flamin', yet with a stun to follow right after. Just absolutely blasting him out into smithereens. Big wake up match is important to follow, but he got no help whatsoever. Beatman trying to see who's going to be the next competitor. He's trying to get super aggressive. He's trying to get everybody in combat. He's like, I'm not sure which one I'm fighting. Who am I fighting? Not really sure. Is it going to be Roth? Is it going to be Amarok? They're trying to figure out who's going to be next. It looks like it is not my boy Roth, but maybe? Oh, maybe. It is the Mage with the Arcane Barrage Poly in the open. A hand of freedom for Beatman, but it is going to be stolen. The fact that Paladins can never keep the hand of freedoms anymore, it is going to be pretty brutal. Spell Warden for Beatman immediately got himself full immunity to magic damage for Roth. He just has to escape for a little bit here. He's going to go for a bit of the Arcane Missiles, trying to see if he can juke out a kick out of Beatman. As he does get hit with a Hodge onto Roth, he's going to get himself, I think, all the time for the Mage. Does get himself all the time, so he's going to be plenty healthy, but Beatman was already aware of it. It's going to be minute poly as the hand of freedom comes in, and it's going to spell steal it immediately with an Arcane Orb missiles around. It's going to be burned down. Beatman knocked up in the air for a second into a freeze right after. He's hitting him with every element from Arcane to Fire to Frost, everything to slow his approach and make sure his escapes are very difficult to handle. As Roth trying to see if he can find himself a much better angle here. My goodness. Pala all have AoE talents? They really do, man. They really do. They're like a Demon Hunter at this point. They have so much natural AoE in their abilities. It's actually kind of crazy how much cleave they got. But the rework has been fantastic for them. Like, it's definitely been doing wonders. Definitely wonders. Ring of Fire on the corner. Beatman is going to get the burn a little bit. As long as he can find himself a better angle versus Roth, you may be okay. As Roth trying to see if he can find himself also another angle. Hand of Freedom stolen from the Paladin. Is going to be a blink to get out of that stun immediately. Got himself a big touch of the magic. Does he have himself a big go? Not big barrage just yet, but missiles are doing quite a lot of work. Beatman's taking a lot of damage, maybe in a bit of trouble. There's going to be massive lay on hands for the guy as he got himself a lots of healing. Big defenses available, but still going to try to see if he can just tank up this damage versus Roth. He's got barrages all around the corner with the Ring of Frost. Almost catches the Paladin. Definitely wants to steal that Hand of Freedom if he can. Is going to be able to get himself a bit of mobility, plus stopping himself from being able to be slowed, shifting power to get some cooldowns back as fast as possible. Beatman is looking for a bit of recovery behind the pillar as Roth establishing a Ring of Fire. As Beatman, if he got himself in a bad position, walking into the fire multiple times over, he's just going to keep burning some more. Trying to go for a big Arcane Surge around the corner as Roth wants to make sure he got himself plenty good of an angle. Got himself that massive miss for a second just to reposition. And Beatman is trying to wait until maybe Hand of Freedom is back up. Wants to wait until stun is available. Hand of Freedom is available. At least if anything, Roth would want to spend a global trying to see if you can remove it if you can. This is going to be a blink positioned perfectly in order to be able to escape those stuns with a blink immediately out in the open, not blinking into a wall if you can help it. And it's going to be positionals are huge here. Into a polymorph to Beatman. Does end up going in for a trinket. Does he just want to get in there again? Yeah, at this point, he must have the cooldowns coming back up sometime soon. Show them that it's available. 17 seconds on the bubble. Does he run out in the open or does he just hold back? I think he's just going to wait until the bubble is available back up fully. I think at this point, you just got to wait for it. And that's going to be Roth sitting down for a second just to get himself a little bit extra feast. As the shield of minutes is up really early for Beatman. Got himself the big immunity. And at this point, maybe he could just push in. At this point, just push in. Big immunity. Unless Rob just absolutely blasts you out of just smithereens, it's gonna go behind the pool immediately. Missiles to fall. It's trying to get frozen. It's gonna be Ring of Fire. Kind of limited to what he can really do. Does get him frozen out. He's gonna be Roth trying to get himself a better angle. More missiles around the corner. Beatman is gonna go for a bubble. Expected a lot of damage out of the Mage. It's gonna be massive. Missile Hodge comes out. Gonna be himself a blink. I think all the time with the ready in case he's ever in trouble. Beatman not really going for a self heal. Could be a bad situation. Does Roth find no more damage? Got himself missiles as well as a barrage. Is gonna do quite a bit of damage with orbs to follow. And Beatman trying to go for as much recovery as he can while Roth goes in for more shifting power. Got him some big missiles on Beatman trying to see if he can escape the execute range with those barrages. As long as he can escape out of Lexicon, that fire is not going to help whatsoever. In a bad spot, touches the magic. Oh, and does get collapsed with that touch of magic, crushing the paladin like a big old soda can. With Chicago, going to be up next, trying to give Roth as much of an honor duel as possible. Oh my god, my camera. Literally went on the inside of the yak. But it's going to be Roth. At least give an opportunity to heal up fully versus Chicago. Enhancement Shaman versus an Arcane Mage. In most cases, I think Enhancement wins the situation, but we are into higher dampening where Roth can use Ice Block as well as his reversals of health with all the time at least to put himself back in a healthier state, right? As well as any kind of big immunity abilities. Maybe that can help you, but Chicago, with how much range damage you got, that's just one lightning bolt over Primordial. I mean, that's a lot. Burrows down. Shirov tried to see if he can get himself shooting power. Doesn't a blink in a perfect moment just to escape Chicago on the knockup. And it's going to be Chicago get himself a little bit of health to work with. Big Ring of Frost down is going to end up freezing the Shaman. But it's going to be very, very short in terms of the CC. Short duration. Roth knocking him back for a second. Definitely needs a little bit of health. Maybe an Icebox situation. Does go for the block. As we hit in that 10-minute mark, we are at 57% dampening. One big immunity for the mage. He definitely needs to make a big play. No more trigger for Chicago, so maybe you can have himself a proper go. Chicago ends up blasting out. Is it Beatman? No, ends up blasting somebody out. I think it was SB Shady with the banner. I don't know why he did that. Rob with the full poly. If he can get himself a proper go in Chicago, this could be massive. He does have line of sight. It is perfect for him. Big freeze, and that's going to be Chicago actually charging in over at Rob. Is it going to be enough to get himself, I think, all the time, trying to see if he can rip that all the time off of him. Chicago dropping down a totem for a second. Is it going to be enough? The wall together with Guardian. Is it going to be plenty of healing? Rob not really doing all that great. Does have himself all the time to at least reposition away from Chicago. Still super low as a Shaman. Barely trying to recover. Big barrage. You're getting super low. Likely lots of blink to follow. Does Chicago survive? His barrages are still chipping away at him. Missiles. Oh, I think it was a Battle Master Trinket at the end there. Falling off as a missile struck him, because the missile itself wasn't really doing that much damage, but he just needed just a little bit more damage overall. Big blink by Roth. I think he got himself a proc. All the time not ready yet, so he's waiting for it for a little bit longer. Doesn't really have much health to work with, so you better be extra careful. Ring of Frost to make sense of his approach. A lot more difficult. Rolls right over and tries to see if he can go for a setup trinket until knockback. Roth does not have a lot of health to really work with. Again, all the time's up. Mostly using it for mobility. He will not be able to use this for damage. Sensei taking a lot of damage. Does go for diffuse magic really early on. Still, big touch of the magic on him. Does go for dampen harm as well. So for Roth, he's whittling out every one of his defensives. In cap, does he have a blink for this one? He may need to. Breath. No trinket. Potentially could be good. If Roth can just cut him out, karma to follow, you gotta make sure to mitigate the damage. You cannot let him heal. You cannot let this monk heal. But you gotta mitigate this karma as best as you can. Barrages to keep him slowed. Roth trying to see if he can maybe go for a little bit of recovery. Does get himself images, so it's gonna keep him in combat. Cannot sit down for food. So for Sensei, at least he gets an opportunity to get back some of his healing together with Sid and Miss as well as WIFI spam. For Roth, though, he does get to go for a bit of a shift in power. Blink off with that stun. A Sensei, I think, was expecting for the blink immediately. In cap to follow versus Roth. Had himself lots of damage already. That's going to be Ring of Peace. Arcane Surge is trying to see if he can move for it. It's going to be all the time to replace him back in a different position. Arcane Surge still going to blast the guy out. Is it going to be enough damage? Does he have it? Knockback as Sensei rolls in into a freeze right after. Got a bit in the corner. Oh, and Roth just ends up drilling him down with those missiles back to back. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Trying to see if he can sit down for food as soon as possible. Who's up next? Is it going to be Diabolical? Is it going to be Nira, potentially? It's one of those two. At this point, I feel like for Roth, maybe best setup. Maybe. I feel like if Affliction Warlock puts up all the dots on the guy, he's just dead. If a Demonology Warlock walks in, sends out all the pets, he's just dead. I don't know how he can fight either one of them. I think maybe against Affliction, you may be able to survive this. Diabolicals. At least Roth was given a chance to catch up a little bit of healing at the very least. Seabrick is nuts. Seabrick is one of the best arcane mages I've ever seen in this video game. We've seen some fantastic arcane mages before, and some mages in general, but Seabrick I think is one of the best arcane mages on all the regions of NA and EU. I kind of miss when we could do like those alpha and beta Dragonflight duels, where we had Seabrick compete against some of the NA or EU boys. And my goodness, I think Oblit was another good arcane mage, but we had another mage too. I think it was a Palm, Clear Casting or something, some of the name along those lines. And they were really good too. But Seabrick is just he's very ingenuitive in terms of how he comes up with like solutions to different problems. Like he's able to juke out Diabolica's, got him so quick and biz. Diabolica's picking up the eye, but at this point he just needs to send in the pets over at Roth, who's gonna blast out the main Felguard. I think at this point it might be very, very difficult for you to blast out the Felguard or Diabolica's. Touch of the Magic is on him. Got him so big obelisk. Trying to see if he can escape Roth as best as he can. He's trying to see if he could kite both the Felguard as well as the Warlock. He's trying to see if he could fight two enemies at once. Icebuck is going to give him a little bit of health. If you're just sitting there the entire time, at least it'll give you some recovery. And 82% dampening, you're not getting much, especially as the guy got a full Tyrant. You have to go for an Invis immediately in order to escape this army of demons. He's going to try to see if he can Invis. Still got dotted somehow. He's going to be shifting power right after. Get him some cooldown reduction. He needs to find a way to CC all the demons. They are going to walk into the Ring of Frost. Mortical around the corner. Still in the bad spot. Does not have anything. I think it's just over. Yeah, there's just nothing you could do. Together with a Tyrant, together with all these pets, it's just done so much damage. Even if you control the Warlock, you can't control all these pets. Jash is going to be up next. Full blaze of the Diabolicals. Try to go for a kick. Got juked out. Diabolicals give himself a pretty big haze buff and everything. Trying to see if he can go for a little bit of a burst here. But I think Jash may just have him full avatar of the way. He just needs a couple more eggs to get to the Diabolicals. Just at this high dampening, there's nothing you can do with a Fury Warrior blasting you. There's only so much you can really get done. Is Nira's back by chance? Because Jash is trying to kind of give him an honor duel. He's waiting for the guy. Oh, he's here. Okay, cool. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, so that whole like attacking a guy while another guy's fighting, I'm glad we got it solved out. But this is a proper opportunity for Nira's to at least get himself a proper 1-in-1 duel. Trying to go for a bit of a hunt is Jash. Mortical. Nira's not really have a lot of health to work with. Reflect up for Jash. Goes in for Shadow Ball for a second. I think it's just an execute away or two and it's over. Yeah, well done, well done. Teamwork absolutely popped off there, man. Well done. I feel like if that game wasn't super high in dampening, maybe there was opportunity for you to recover, but that's a lot to ask for. That is definitely a lot going on at once. That was well done. I enjoyed that. It was confusion, a little bit confusion, but at the end of the day, it was a fantastic duel. Let's see what Beat said. All good, all good. Yeah, he started with you. Decided call it on stream and that should get a proper rematch. Yeah, SP Shady, I do feel pretty bad at SP Shady. They never really get to go for a proper duel. The more just have to like keep Beat busy while Beat because Beat doesn't have the stream on in the background, so you can't hear what I'm saying. So I need to like write to him. But if I did that, my UI gets so kind of messed up once I get the duels going. But he was like, yeah, sorry, by the way, I had no idea. I don't have it on stream or anything. I don't really know what was going on until like someone told me. But at the end of it, I think it worked out. I do feel bad for SP Shady, but I thank you so much for your sacrifice. Keep it Beat busy while we got a proper res. And I think at the end of it, the duel went pretty well. His pets and passing the teleport to the gate. Oh, was it? Oh, no. Not PTR is only one duel augmentation only. Dude, PTR, I cannot wait until they release new dungeon. Jake, we have to do it together. We have to run it together. We have to. Also, didn't they change Bear, by the way? Because they changed Mage, too. They changed a lot of classes. What was he doing? It was just a lot of confusion. It's just a lot of confusion, but he didn't have the stream on in the background, so you didn't hear me like call like, yo, let's give the Warlock another chance. Let's let him play again. Yo, Flamin' as well as Chicago, let me know if you boys are ready, if you're looking for more bodies, or if you're just dipping for the night. Let me know, boys. Let me know, because that one, I actually enjoy. As weird as that duel went, I think at the end of it, it was really fun, and everybody got to play, and we did end up course correcting there a little bit. That's the kind of my man. Hope some of the classes get some nerfs. I hope if anybody gets buffed, it's Warlock, you know, they really needed a buff in PvE, you know. The only number 2 in top classes, it's only fair for them to be number 1. I think that meme is so funny for me, honestly. There's a lot of people that complain like, wait, Warlock is doing so good, why are you buffing them? They're so good in the current raid. And it's like, I don't really care. Honestly, I don't really care. I think some of the changes they're doing are good. Like with the Affliction Warlock, the playstyle changes, the talent changes. I think those are fundamentally good. That will result in a buff. They'll probably have to tone them down afterwards. But I think the changes they're making, like the gameplay changes, I'm a big proponent of like gameplay, better gameplay, dot, focus, maintenance playstyle as an Affliction Warlock, maintaining your optimal with debuffs. I think it's awesome. That blows my mind. I love that. It's so good. Got a 420 dagger, 410. Let's go. Flame is ready. Chicago, let me know if you're ready. Arcane top damage in raid. Time to get nerfed. Dude, I hope they don't touch Arcane top damage in raid. I like the fact that Arcane is able to still pop off. Like, Fire Mage is getting buffed up. Just keep Arcane as it is. Just keep him. Keep him. Because it's like the rotation is not the easiest rotation either. It's not like they have it the easiest as all the classes. You know what I mean? I think also what keeps Arcane Mages like not in the spotlight is because with Warlocks, it's a lot of drama, right? A lot of Warlock players basically customize their class around PI. You know, PI, Power Infusion in raids, it's a pretty big controversial topic. Who should get the PI? And a lot of Warlocks, whether memeing, whether not memeing, but basically it was like a whole sentiment of Warlock kind of need PI in order to compete. Otherwise they can't. So a lot of the sims that people do with Warlocks all include PI. Almost like, oh, I need the PI. And it's like, you have mages who don't sim with PI. And Arcane is popping off right now. They're not asking about PI. If Arcane was asking about PI, I think there'd be more in spotlight. But now they're like, shh, don't say anything about PI. We don't need it. We're fine. We're good. Let the drama be all about Warlocks and them feeling they need PI. Because we have hunters who also like, oh, I need PI. And we have on Holy DK, it was like, well, he should definitely get PI in the opener, right? And then we got Evoker, so like, well, I think they also probably should get PI because it's a 2-minute button, their cooldown is 2 minutes, it lines up perfectly, especially when you got a Shadow Priest who's trying to press PI on cooldown. Him and Evoker are going to press the buttons together every single time. It just works out. Why would you hold it for an entire minute just for a Warlock? It makes no sense, but then Warlocks get upset. And like, I feel like it's one of those things that you think is a meme when you look at WoW Twitter, right? A Warlock's like, I need my PI. But then when you have guildies who are trying to make an argument like as to why they need PI and it's inherently their buff in a way, it trickles down, dude. It bleeds into the social environments of guilds, and I'm sure every other guild is like that too. And here we are as rogues, middle of the barrel, not even the best melee, decent-ish in terms of others, below every other caster mostly, like top tier caster in raid. We're not asking for PI. We just asking for like, can we get maybe like a talent rework? No? Okay. Like, Rogues is not even like on Twitter, like, we need a rework. Like, we got a couple of bodies, like Forever Guy, who does the Outlaw Rogue writing. He was pretty vocal, like, oh, dude, come on. Look, we have all these classes that get on reworks. Like, really hoping that Rogue maybe gets something. This is about time. We got Exsanguinate that the Blizzard said they're going to fix it. They haven't changed Exsanguinate whatsoever. It's an ability that's kind of cool, but, like, doesn't really fit PvE. We have some pain points in our talents. Like, Rogues try not to complain as best as they can. But, man. You know what I mean? It's like, we're definitely gonna get a rework this time, guys. Promise ya. Just hold your hope. Don't complain. Don't complain. Just hold hope. We'll be fine. That's, on one hand, Rogues in Discord realize we're all breathing copium. Like, oh, we're definitely gonna get fixed, guys. We're definitely gonna get fixed. But also, this hopium more than anything. More the hopium. But it's like patience. I think that the difference is patience. Because when Rogues are like not a great spot, we're like, okay, don't freak out. Even the entire Discord go, don't freak out. Just patient, wait, express your opinions on where we are, talk about the pain points, and just be patient. Don't give devs no trouble. Don't. And I feel like for some other classes, it's just not the same way. Like the communities, it's like panic, get loud about it, tell everybody about it, and it's just like it's a different approach. What is your opinion on chill pills after the one-shot non-stop death nights? What is your opinion on chill pills after you one-shots people in your video and then goes? I feel like last time he participated in duels was like season 1, wasn't it? I don't think he stepped into the arena since season 2. I don't think, at least. I have no idea, Mushy. Yeah, I don't keep track of like everybody that joins duels to that detail and degree. You know, I don't do the Big Brother thing, snooping their posts or whatever. Everybody has the right to express their opinions, is how I feel about it. And I don't... you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Chilpos joined us for season 2 yet. But maybe I'm wrong. Also, are we looking for more? Did I end up queuing you guys? Requeue? Okay. Instead of a hook, I guess we'll do... Tigers. Is a bad spot actually in arenas? Yeah, that's what I heard. Is like DK is not in a great spot in arena. There was a lot of hope for like the new PvP talent with the Death Strike giving you some physical damage reduction, but like it seems that it's an arms race, right? With the new season, a lot of classes are getting a bunch of buffs, either new tier set or just a rework, or like their stats ends up being better as you get more secondaries or whatever. So some classes just start naturally growing better, and some classes just get a buff up in order to help out with that natural growth. And Death Knights, it was like, oh, maybe we'll get enough of the stat growth and some new PvP talents, and maybe we'll do well. And then Holy was doing pretty good at the very beginning with that zombie build, right? But then it's like, oh, wait, actually, in contrast to other classes, we didn't get as much of like a growth as they did. You know what I mean? And it's not fun. The way I approach it is, I like being the underdog, so I'm perfectly fine, you know, figuring out a way around it. But I don't know. Everybody has their own opinions, and I feel like it's fine to voice their opinions. I feel like opinions should definitely be voiced in constructive manner, but I mean, people are people, right? So I don't know exactly what he posted in the post at all. I just have no idea. I haven't looked at it, but yeah, I just don't really know what to say about it. Which. I think Chilpa is a fantastic guy who joins duels, but everybody has bad days, and it's understandable if somebody's upset with like class isn't doing so good in the season. Chicago getting blasted out of the bad by Flamin' as they're sitting at half health. Flamin' trying to see if he can maybe huddle behind the tiger statue. Got him so the port set up. The succubus right next to them. Big zaps out of Chicago. Portal's opening up onto the shaman. It's kind of out in the open. Can't really find himself a good spot. Is it going to be ground totem in the last second? There's going to be a trinket out for Flamin' interrupt in the last second too as well. This is going to be Chicago dodging away from the Infernal, dodging away from Casbolt. Flamin' trying to see if he can port on top of him and keep casting Casbolts if at all possible. Chicago's going to take a lot of damage off from Mortal Coil Fear. I think it's going to be just double bolts here potentially. Does not really have an answer unless he go for an intro. Second PCC over that second bolt, third bolt right after. Oh my god, triple bolts out of Flamin'. Got himself extra bolts to follow him. He must have the playstyle where once you drop an Infernal, you cut down the cost of his bolts, right? Down to like 1 soul shard. That's gotta be the build, man. That's gotta be it. Got himself plenty of Visicast, opening up more portals for Chicago, trying to see if he can find himself a better angle. Wall to follow. Oh, but that Casbolt flies into a grounding totem. Does go for at least 1 bolt out in the open, trying to send in whatever instance he's got after it. That was a nice use of that grounding totem. But also, Flamin' has a really good use of the Succubus CC. Succubus, in the sense, the crowd control he uses with it, the seduce ability, he kind of uses it like a stun. So if you send out, this is how it used to work previously, being lightning lasso for Chicago, like maybe going down here, could be a lot of damage. Chicago kind of zooming all over the place. I'm not really sure what happened. Maybe I DC for like a half a second. Flamin', porting, trying to see if you can get a better position. But the way that Succubus CC works, if let's say you throw in a Casbolt at somebody, and then you hit him with a Succubus CC, Casbolt will connect, but the Succubus CC won't break because the instance of Casbolt happened before the Succubus CC, so it kind of works like a stun. So if you time it right, Casbolt, and then Succubus CC, and then load up a second Casbolt, Succubus will happen, you'll get hit by Casbolt, will not break because this is second in the instance, in rotation, and then second bolt may break it, but you still got 2 for a price of 1 in a single Succubus CC. It's so good. Chicago does end up overpowering Flamin' at the end though. The man just ran out of resources. Not much you can do about it. Jash walking in next to Chicago, but does get tangled up in a totem. It's going to be light lasso as he's on his approach. Chicago just trying to see if it can establish some pressure before Jash can really get himself a proper go. Reflect the Primordial. Does not take down the totem. Actually goes for Shuttable, but he's still dotted up either way. Thunder to follow right after. Big zaps to follow by Chicago. It's going to be a shockwave, but Jash with the Stormbolt right after. Chicago does get knocked back. Doesn't get a way to reconnect. Oh, this is going to be in Rage Generation 2, so every defensive and offensive get used by Jash right now. So if Chicago can just wait it out a little bit, then maybe okay. Big bleed by Jash, trying to see if he can turn around, but Chicago just got so much pressure on him. It's going to knock him up in the air for just a second. Ellen Buster follow does not quite get the knock up and the dunk right after. Not enough damage as Jash looks like he wants to catch up a little bit of health. Chicago better be extra careful. Can always just cut out Jash if they want to. Stormbolt to follow, not much they can do. Charge off of that knockback into a Disarmor to enhance with Shaman. Doesn't really need his weapons in order to generate Maelstrom. Get himself the Lightning Bolt as well as the Raptors generating playing over that Maelstrom as much as possible. Trinket for Jash as he gets it with a Thunder. Got himself yet another charge. Oh, Chicago just hard stops him with a big zap right in the chest and ends him right then and there. Shadow Crusher around the corner as SPJ trying to see if he can bombard down onto the Shaman with a totem down. Can't really leave it whatsoever. Honestly, you could try dotting that thing. I think you have to like hit it with the Shadow Word Pain, right? A couple of times. You really can't break it all that easily, but You gotta like mind blast it or like spike it or something. That's all you can really do. Try to see if you can get some dots over Chicago. As long as you land those shadow crashes, your dots are all secured. And Shady just has to make sure they can maintain themselves as best as possible, siphon around the corner. And Chicago try to see if they can eliminate fairly quickly. Lasso right after Shady taking quite a bit of damage. Chicago leaping in, Sunder to follow. And this opportunity maybe for Chicago to make some big damage. That's going to be Shady with the disperse. Is that why you went all invisible before? Because of disperse? Like the game thought you were invisible because I don't even know actually, but earlier you were definitely invisible for me. Except for like a little shadowy apparition looking thing. Big PI together with Void Charm, but Chicago does end up interrupting and slapping that out of his hands, and it's going to be tentacle spawning in. Chicago's still taking a lot of damage. That is PI. Shady. Did he use Void Eruption? I don't know actually. I think he did. Maybe? Was it Void Eruption with a full burst or was it not? Not even sure. Does end up eliminating the totem though. Chicago with a quick Sunder. That is going to be Siphon around the corner. Needs to make sure to eliminate Siphon at all if possible. And try to see if he can establish some pressure versus Shady. There goes the Void Eruption. Trying to see if he can get a proper go. It's going to be tricky to follow as the last comes out. Chicago going for the hit and runs right now as a Shaman. When Shady is on a back foot, Chicago wants to be up in his business. When Shady wants to approach him, Chicago's looking for a little bit of cover behind the pillar. It's going to be Trinket with an interrupt, trying to deny Shady as much damage as possible. Void Eruption flying in all directions. It's going to be summoned Chicago with a Void Torrent. Oh my god, it's a lot of damage together. Into a silent. Chicago does go for the battle. That's Trinket wall. May just want to even burn a Guardian potentially here. Does activate a healing stream totem with a root around the corner onto Shady. Does not get to connect with the shadow because Chicago barely survived that approach. What was that? That was absolutely incredible. It is going to be a Siphon blasting out in Chicago as SP Shady trying to see if he can find some better angle. If you're in Chicago, mind games could be huge. Trying to see if he can play it super defensive. Shady definitely wants to go for a couple of those mind spikes if he can ever get established a CC chain onto Chicago. Next sphere, if you can get a couple of blasts of those, that'd be golden. This is going to go for an interrupt. Chicago knocking him up, disperse immediately for Shady. And Chicago had a Sunder already there. It is going to be a totem down in Shady unless he wants to take down totem. He can't really easily escape it. Chicago got totem down, got himself lots of maelstrom with a lightning last, trying to keep the Shadow Priest at bay while also getting himself kind of low. If you can interrupt him on Shadow, that would be golden. No pre-tremor for the sphere. Shady has the opportunity to at least maybe get some damage happen. 12 down to Chicago. Does get interrupted on Shadow. Chicago trying to see if he can cleave him down with a lava lashes. Knock back into Shady in order to make sure he doesn't get any cast up whatsoever. There's going to be a Frost Shock. There's going to be a Siphon joining in. Silence out of Chicago. Shady could actually get a cast out. Trying to go for Mind Gives big damage to Chicago. Is going to be oh wow, that's so good. It does set up a nice silence into a Mind Games and a Shadow Ward. Death, well done with Conan jumping in, trying to see if he can take down this Void Eruption Void thread. It's going to be taken down with the tentacles for a second, but needs an execute. Does end up going for a Trinket for this one. Human Racial. Human Racial is a root. That is actually unfortunate. So for Conan, this may not be his best matchup at this point. Now that he no longer has a proper stun. I guess if he's going up against Roth, I think having a proper Trinket at least would have been amazing. But I guess Amarok, Light and Lasso, being able to Trinket out of that one, the Human Racial out of that one, would have been very, very helpful. Actually, maybe a Shady did throw in a stun of the guy. I'm not even sure. It does not get trapped up by the totem whatsoever. Amarok is going to drop down the stun totem. It is going to hit him again as the root comes out. Stormkeeper is at the ready. Amarok got himself the big lightning elemental Stormbolt flying in. Going to take a lot of damage right now. Trying to see if he can back up out of the full bleed onto Amarok. Does he go for Frost Shock? He does go for Frost Shock. Lightning Bolt to follow right after. Got himself plenty of damage. Conan can go in for Enrage Regeneration. May want to be thinking about it right now. We are at 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes into the duel. 39% Dampener does go for the Frost Shock, but Conan goes in for a Fear Trinket out of Amarok though, as Conan got himself a bit of a Reflect. Knocked back yet again into Conan. He just got to get himself big Lava Bursts available. If he can get himself a big proc of Lava Burst, he'll be golden. Conan got himself plenty of damage as well as plenty of healing. Stormbolt onto Amarok to make sure he doesn't get to escape. Yet another knockback. Earth Shock, Frost Shock's going to be huge for Amarok as long as he's extra careful. Big Lava Burst, Ascendance, perfect opportunity. Stun with the Earth Elemental. This way we want to max out the damage. If we just go for another Frost Shock, Earth Shock, Lightning Bolt to follow around him, do we have enough damage? It's going to be Reflect up for Conan, but he's still able to bypass it entirely. Earth Shock into another Frost Shock. Do you have any more Lava Bursts? Needs one more hit, one more attack. Oh, as the Shockwave comes down, Amarok does end up eliminating him though. Does get himself an opportunity to at least recover before Sensei charges full on headstrong. It's a monk, rolls in, does not want to give the shaman too much of opportunity to escape. Lexup clothesline and him does have a knockback, but the monk is prepared with a roll, immediately getting back in there. Light and Lasted to follow, holding on to a trinket until later. Trying to save it until a better situation, until a better opportunity. Gonna be a Sensei coming back in with the win. Yet another nightmare for Amarok. Actually, maybe if he goes in for more Earth Shocks, Frost Shocks versus Sensei, he might be able to separate from him. Sensei is able to port out of the static totems. For some reason, I thought monks would be boot back in there, but I guess they do get to break it, don't they? Sensei trying to see if he can close the gap. Ring of Peace is going to be able to boop Amarok back in. He got himself a Primordial setup, trying to go for Stormkeeper. Also wants to make sure he doesn't get interrupted. Zaps to follow. Got himself a Reflect. A Sensei does cleanse his Flame Shock. It's going to end up knocking him up. Another root to follow. It's going to be yet another knockback. Amarok, Sensei trying to see if he can deny the root. At least goes in for roll immediately as soon as he goes in from getting flown back. Going to be a Burrow right after. Sensei does go in for the Karma. Amarok just trying to see if he can play it super defensive. Going to be healing for healing. And I think Amarok healing is actually a little bit more effective than that of Sensei, able to recover health much faster than the monk can. As Amarok got himself a decent situation, could go for the wall, trying to go for a bit of a setup versus Sensei, but Alexium is going to be able to lock him down. Does Sensei have the damage? Trinket for Amarok, got himself a wall, knocked back at the Sensei, doesn't quite roll into Amarok, trying to see if he can find himself a bit of position around the pillar. Static Totem is going to stop in place, does end up eliminating Lava Burst to follow. He's got himself big Ascendance. Was it a Sense proc? Okay, it looked like you got a Sun's proc, but you just power shifted into a Ghost Wolf. I guess I got confused with the two, but Sensei should be able to get himself a little bit of recovery behind the pillar. 10 minutes into this game, dampened at 54%. At this point, you're not really getting a lot of healing. At this point, Sensei needs to find himself a break while Amarok's cooldowns are down. Needs to find a way to counter every one of his knockbacks, every one of his roots. There goes the Tiger Thrust, will not be able to use that for any of the Frost Shocks. Earth Shock, Frost Shock is going to stop in place, trying to see if he can reach him. Fist of Fury doesn't quite connect, but the Zuen does join in, together with a full Serenity. Amarok playing very defensive, leaving the monk over there with a Lightning Elemental. Lightning Last is trying to close the gap. He needs himself just a bit more ability to catch up to Amarok. He's going to go for a port, trying to see if he can get himself in a better situation. Going to be yet another freeze, but Amarok going in for a leap. As Sensei uses mobility, yet another port. Frost Shock, Earth Shock combo in order to keep the monk at bay. And Sensei does have a Karma, could maybe just go aggressive with a Karma, that or diffuse magic. At this point, could just stay in. Karma, Amarok is limited to what he can do. There's going to be lots of pressure, but the monk does end up taking him out with the touches at the top point. Oh, no. And Roth trying to give this monk as much of an opportunity, but at 59% dampening, you ain't healing much. Sensei at least trying to catch up as much healing as he can. Roth trying to make it as honorable of a duel as possible, but he should be aware that Diabolicals, the Destruction Warlock, as well as Rev Dog, also Destruction Warlock, are good. Oh my god, the purple eyes look so good on that thing. Oh my god, this looks so great. Missiles flying in. A Sensei trying to see if he can establish an interrupt onto Rav. Going to be a Breath of Fire around the corner with a Polymorph right after, as Rav gets so much movement while casting. I love watching mages do that, by the way. Missiles to follow. Big damage on the Sensei. Got himself Diffuse Magic, but can't really go anywhere. Fully slowed by the Archimage. Mad damage. Touches the magic. I think it ends up. Oh, just missiles. Just ends up drilling past the guy. And it still has a lot of bursts available versus Revdog, who's going to be up next. Also, Revdog, am I seeing this correctly? I think the last time I've seen you in this arena specifically, Rev, you're not running Infernal. Is that normal? No Infernal build? Or is it just like a bug? I feel like it's a bug. But maybe that's like an intentional build and you got something really interesting going on. Well done. Rev trying to see if he can find an angle versus Roth. Roth trying to be extra careful around the Succubus as well as the Warlock, going for a Polymorph as soon as the Warlock closes the gap. Wants to be very careful about Succubus, trying to go for Ring of Frost. Succubus does walk into it. Roth gets an opportunity to at least have himself a proper go. Health funnel onto the pet, Reflect to follow after. The pet actually ends up dying really quickly. I guess the pet was super low from Roth attacking it constantly. It's going to be a big meat ball flying in. Mad damage to the receiver. Not a great spot right now. Does have all the time in order to reverse it. Rev got himself plenty of defensive wall available. He's going to swap out to a Fell Hunter. So Lacey got himself an opportunity to interrupt Roth in case anything. Does end up juking it though. For Roth, it's a big haze buff, but he's still careful of Rev. He knows Conflagrations are going to do a lot of damage. Got him some missiles while around the corner. More Arcade Blast if he can find himself a better angle. Rev goes in for a port. Kind of tries to stay ahead of Roth, and it's going to be an ice block. At 71% dampening, you need a breather. You need to go for immunity. Better use it as early as possible. Recover as much health as you can. And as long as you have an open up for a Rev, does go for immediate interrupt, touches the match at the ready. Does see himself a big blast. Trying to go for Arcane Mass. It's going to be reflective available. Maybe he can just spell steal it. I think it's just over for Rev. He got himself a wall, but touching the magic may just crush him. Does he get to? Oh, does get to. Rev just needed to wait there. Just had a cooking time over Arcane. It just needed just to let her wait. Let her hold up. Diabolical's charging in. I don't think he's going to give a chance for Rev. It's hard to tell. No, it looks like he's charging in. Oh, Succubus is going to get CC'd. Rav is at least sitting down for at least some food. Infernal interrupting his shift in power. That is going to set him back a little bit. I do wonder if it's easier to fight a Destro Warlock or a Demonology Warlock, because the pets versus the Infernal versus the Malates versus the Chaos Bolts versus the instant cast of Conflagrations and Shadowburns and Portals, I think they're both just about as bad, aren't they? Does get interrupted on his Shadow? I think it's just over. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. He played that really, really well, though. Really well. 2 for my man Rob, but everybody got a chance to play that round. I love it. I love seeing stuff like this. Hell yeah. Kind of had no choice. Todd was like, I could do it. Yeah. I think in that situation, you just kind of have to do it. You just got to send it, yeah. Definitely just got to send it. Alrighty. Let's get us another one going here, boys, yeah? Uno más. Let me know if you guys are around to keep going. Or if we are coming up on like 8 PM East Coast. So let me know if you guys are still in or you just want to take a break. Because at this point, it could be about that time to like call it. Or we could keep going because I'm liking this a lot. I'm liking these deals a ton. Ready? Playman's ready. Chicago, let me know if you're ready. I'm gonna head out. Speciality. Thank you so much for coming by. SP. I appreciate you, my man. Always enjoy having you here representing Shadowface, my guy. I'm still waiting for a BG. Oh no, Claire. Wait, what do you mean still? For a BG or BG duel? Need one? Hold on. Yeah, Shadowface hopping off. I think I hit the wrong button just now. Flamin should have the group listed already over in the LFG. The new Uno Mas. If you guys want to join in, well, welcome to. Waiting for another HP buff? Yeah, honestly. I do love the Shadowface healing, by the way. I think it is really, really good right now. Like, just while the dampen is not super high, you can't go behind the pillar. Boom, was that message for me or was that for somebody else? We'll see, we'll see. You might have sent that to me instead of somebody else. With the new Evoker spec, the technical DPS, I can't wait to make it a 5v5 duel, messing with teammates. Okay, so I don't really know, Vicante, if we could allow the new augmentation spec to buff up allies. I don't know if that would be allowed. You know? I know that the spec is all about buffing allies, but it would have to play as a proper 1v1. So... yeah. I get where you're coming from, right? Oh, it's part of your playstyle. But like in a 1v1 duel, you wouldn't get buffed by other classes. And if augmentation is still a DPS class that is supposed to be a team player, but it still is a 1v1, you have to respect the core idea of 1v1. Yes, certain buffs are allowed, like a raid buff, right? Like a warrior buff or mage buff. This is because like it's really difficult to control, like for everybody to right click it off of them. Or like Hellstone, also very difficult to like check someone's bags and like remove it out of their bags, right? Stop them from picking them up and using it. So we don't make rules around things we can't really control. But like Evoker buff and stuff, like we could just ask you to not press your buttons, right? While you're not dueling. And that works out for everybody else. Like when you're not dueling, don't just unheal the guys on your team that's dueling right now. Just let him duel, right? Just let him do his thing. So I don't know how Evoker player versus Evoker player. Oh, that could be interesting. Yeah, so maybe like if we do a duel with Evokers, augmentation, because augmentation does need to play like as a 2v2. We could do it like that, yeah. So like the player. So what we could do is, oh man, that would be so weird. But I was thinking, what if we made it like so that if you have an Evoker with each team, evoke. So look. It's more complicated here. So let's say you have a 5-man teams, right? And one of them is Evoker. The rest are like players. 2 each team has Evoker. We could make it so that Evokers are off limits. You can attack Evokers. Evokers can't attack each other either, but can attack the people that are fighting. So we keep Evokers online, and basically it's 4 people get to play, and every one of them is buffed by Evoker the entire time. Evokers get to attack the player, but Evokers cannot get attacked directly. Like if you want to CC an Evoker, like hit him with a fear or whatever, poly. But again, controlling stuff like that, right? It would be weird, but it would be really, really cool. PTR server, there's like 4. Yes, there's 4. They no longer have like a PTR server for 10.1, but the 10.1.5, there's like 4 of them. 2 are PvP servers, 2 are PvE servers, and hopefully they'll have like, maybe like some kind of like a PvP vendor or something. Is Chicago looking for more? Yeah, Chicago is looking for Uno Mas, boys, if you guys want to join in. Uno Mas. But yeah, Mizio, I think it'd be cool to make rules like this. It's just, it will be very difficult to uphold these rules. Really difficult to uphold those rules. So I think if we treat it as a 5v5 1v1, as an evoker, you have to fight as a 1v1. You have buffs, but you can only buff yourself. You can't buff your allies. You have to pick the talents to buff your damage or your survivability as much as possible. That being said, evokers have a lot more self-healing, so maybe they'll have a bit of damage, but also they have more self-healing, and that gives them more survivability. That still lets them 1v1 other players. They just won't have like their biggest burst, but maybe their damage will be very consistent, and they can just kind of like battle of attrition the enemy, almost like you're fighting against a tank, just not quite as big as a tank, as beefy as a tank. You know, you still have to fight it as a 1v1. You can't be buffing your allies, but you're allowed to heal yourself and do all those other things and all the other talents to buff yourself. You'll have to still treat it as a 1v1, not a group game, 1v1. So I think that'll be the most, consistent rule to preserve the idea of the 1v1 of the 5v5 1v1 duel. But it will be very difficult though. Yeah. Just an example. Evoker plus player, evoker plus player. Yeah, it's just very... I feel like and like, again, I just need to think about it some more, right? And maybe like the chat, you guys will come up with a much better idea. But I think the only fair way of doing the 1v1 duel, 5v5 1v1 duels, to keep the idea of 5v5, but also preserving the idea of 1v1, the evoker cannot assist. The evoker is just another DPS class, and you treat it as another proper DPS class. Like a devastation evoker, right? It's you versus the other guy. Augmentation evoker, it's you versus the other guy. All the other people around you don't exist. You're not buffing anybody else whenever they're dueling. It's just you versus the other guy, right? Kind of like how it would be on Georgia, right? You, Augmentation Evoker, versus, let's say, carry as a Shadow Priest, right? You can't buff another guy and he starts attacking the priest. It's just you versus the priest. It's just a 1v1. I think that'll be the most fair way of doing it. I don't know if the class will be able to 1v1, honestly. Maybe somebody will figure it out. Maybe it'll be perfectly fine. It will be tuned so it can properly keep itself alive and contribute decent damage for PvP specifically, right? They may end up tuning the numbers where in PvP, your damage is equal or pretty close to a Devastation Evoker, but you also have the defensive tools as well, and it will round the spec out at the end of the day. Who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. We'll have to figure it all out later, yeah? I think that's all we can really do. I'll figure it out. Augmentation Evoke gets a lot of CC than people thinking it's funny. I think they hold their own in 1v1s. We'll just have to wait and see when they come back, you know? Is the game in good state nowadays? What's coming back to right now? Joseph, I think if you're a fan of Mythic Pluses and Raids, they're really fun. PvP, I mean, solo queue is still very popular. I think when it comes to like class tuning and stuff, they have a little bit more work to do, but they are doing some fantastic changes when it comes to classes in 10.1.5, and that will hopefully be coming out very soon. But Mythic Pluses have been an absolute blast. Gearing a character is fantastic. This new gearing system is, at first, it may seem complicated, but it's kind of sort of like badges for Wrath, but not quite. Basically, the more content you do of heroic, mythic, normal, LFR difficulty, the more of these shards you get, and you can use the shards to upgrade your LFR gear to a normal quality, your normal gear to heroic quality, heroic gear to mythic quality. So, by doing more challenging content, you'll eventually be able to upgrade your gear to a higher level. But it still rewards you for tackling the more difficult content. Raids have been a lot of fun. The fights are pretty good. Not the most difficult, but very solid. Solid for what they got. They're not trying to make them overly complex anymore. Except maybe like the Scar, because I'm gonna get cheesed really badly, but either way. But then we also got Mythic Pluses. It's new season, very fresh. New affixes, really not bad. Weight classes got changed on the tiers and stuff. Actually pretty solid to play for the most part. Very enjoyable. And PvP, solo queue still has a ton of people queuing for it. Probably some of the most representation compared to like 2s and 3s. Very popular still to this day. Then again, new spec on the horizon for 10.1.5, so if you want to get an evoker so you can play augmentation once that's available, now would be a pretty good time to start playing one instead of getting one ready. If you want to check out the new mage changes as soon as that's available, also might be a good idea to start getting that ready. Druids are getting more changes too, and a handful of other classes as well. Very excited for it. I think it's a pretty good time to come back, yeah. It's pretty good right now. It's been very enjoyable. I've been loving it so far, and even more stuff on the horizon, which is awesome to see. You only got a testing on the PTR. I'm hoping that they get the new dungeon available very soon, and they said they're planning on bringing dragon riding, not for 10.1.5, maybe for 10.1.7 or 10.2, to the rest of the open world. And Dragonflight has been absolute blast. How we doing on teams, boys? Chicago needs uno mas, boys. Uno mas, we got a Corgan. Hey, my man. Welcome, 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 welcome. The need uno mas, boys, over on the team 2 with Chicago, and it'll be good to go. Because Flaming got a 5-man. Chicago needs uno mas. It'll be good to go. Yeah, we'll see how augmentation does though. But I do think like preserving the 1v1 of the 5V5 1v1 is probably the most consistent way that we can really do it, right? I think that'll be the most fair way of going about it. Ooh. However, I do understand the spec isn't going to play the same way, and it's definitely going to have very different needs. Totally understand it. Wait, bear again? Dude, aren't they changing the bear quite a bit? I thought they were doing some really good stuff there, weren't they? Okay, cool. We're ready, boys. Uno mas, last one for the night. Put everything in this one, boys. Everything you got. Everything. The new changes? Yes. Yeah. Also, didn't they change it so that you could thrash up to 5 stacks now instead of just 3? Or did I make that up and dream that up somewhere? We'll get ourselves Blades Edge Arena. I don't know what I love about this arena. I'm just a big fan of it. I know there was like a big controversy about it with WoW PvP Twitter on it. But I like this arena a lot. I've always enjoyed it. So maybe I'm the only one. But we're gonna play this one. I feel like this one definitely fits casters quite well. But also Melee have been able to utilize it too. Ooh, got a bit of variety. We got Shatterface, we got Rogues, we got Fury Warriors, we got Shamans, we got Mages! All the Mages! Even a Frost Mage in this one. Let's go, boys! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Can I save this? Okay. NA is miles ahead of you when it comes to duels, man. Just forces the 5 stack 2 buff. Wait, just forces the 5 stack 2% buff? Yes, but I think for like pulverized, talents like pulverized, you don't lose all your thrashes immediately. So that gives that talent a little bit more play. So you don't lose all your stacks immediately. I think that's why. Plus, it also allows thrash to do... Does it add more damage with 5 stacks? Does it make the shield play style of like the absorb thrashing better? Or am I wrong on that one? Which? We got ourselves Moonsy gonna be first up as a Frosty Mage off the bat versus Conan. As the Fury Warrior charging out, is gonna leap in, trying to see if he can find the Mage. Does he realize it's gonna be the Mage first? Is gonna drop it down a Frozen Orb together with a Blizzard, blink it out of that immediately. Conan got himself a bit of a reflect, trying to see if he can approach as he's walking through the Blizzard, through the Isis Storm, trying to see. At this point, Conan is expecting he's gonna be fighting some Frost Chants out here, but instead, it's just a tiny little no Moonsy blasting him out with back-to-back spikes. Big damage out of Conan, got himself massive avatar to follow, as it's going to be a potentially spike for Moonsy, trying to see if he can establish a proper route into Conan. Doesn't it go for trick and big bleed onto the Mage? I think using all the time there too. Glacial, mad damage. Oh, huge spike. Ice Lance to follow. Does have himself a break out of the stun, but it's going to be Conan catching up. A lot of healing with the friends and reach him. Frostbolt up together with a flurry, as well as even more lances out for Moonsy, as he got himself even more procs in the ready, trying to see if he can go for a proper stun onto Conan. Does get interrupted, trying to go for Fire Blasted, but this time he just locked out on Frost abilities. At least doesn't have trap it for just a second. Big glacier spike, no reflect for this one. Does get a freeze onto Conan as well. Doesn't really take this biggest shatter damage, but is actually starting to see if he can get some more pressure onto Moonsy. Does go for a Stormbolt, maybe a blink potentially for the Mage. Ice Buck instead is gonna go for a bit of recovery. Does Conan run shatter? Or does he not? Looks like he does not. In 5v5 duels in most cases, unless you're going up against a lot of paladins, I guess double mage in that team, maybe it's for the shatter, but it does end up sacrificing a valuable talent slot either way though. Moonsy trying to see if he can just back up away from him for a bit. Does have himself Ring of Frost right, or Frozen Orb right there. Maybe can go for the Blizzard on top of it. Does go for a knockback. Does Conan have any ways to catch up? It's gonna be blink out of Moonsy. I think maybe just the Ardent stuns entirely. That'll blinked at the right time. Trying to see if he can go for a little bit of an AoE stun to Conan. Got himself reflect. Does he get to freeze him at all though? I don't think he gets to. Does get to at least root him for a moment. Even more lances available. Lances needed. One more lance. Does he have enough? Trying to see if he can freeze him, but he's fully DR'd. Conan trying to see if he can catch up on health. Big lance spike in the ready. Oh! He does end up taking out the Mage. Are you kidding me? My God. This man was not going to give up. Living up to the corner of the Barbarian playstyle, man. My goodness. He will not let a Warlock take him down. All this magic not going to be taken down by any of this. Trying to see if he can find himself a bit of better cover. Second BCC right after. Oh, no. Oh no, Conan. Oh no. Ah, big blaster. Conan didn't realize that the succubus is just not worth it, man. She's just not worth it, dude. You just gotta get in there, fight flame, and keep your eyes on the prize. This is gonna be Sky Fury for Chicago. Are you playing enhancement? You are enhancement. Big zapper? Are you gonna go for big Ellen Blast? He got himself lots of Maelstrom. Trying to go for a kick, wants to flame him, but he's gonna get himself a reflect. Chicago, I think, wants to go for big Ellen Blast potentially. He's playing Sky Fury, mad Ellen Blast, literally playing ranged enhancement shaman with a lightning lasso. And Flamin is gonna end up breaking out on fairly quickly. I don't think he tricked it. I think just Chicago maybe canceled it. That or broke the tether. But he's gonna try to see if he can find himself a better angle. Definitely needs a little bit of Maelstrom. Are you just gonna play like a ranged shaman? Is that your playstyle? Stun around the corner. Flamin wants to see if he can drop in a big infernal if possible. Trying to get some dots out of Chicago. He's gonna summon a fresh new succubus as the elemental blast is gonna fly through. Chicago wants to hang back. Try to make sure the succubus is getting beat up here and there. While also getting some damage to Flamin. Is that what Sky Fury? No Sky Fury at the moment, but does give himself lots of blasts, lots of Maelstrom. There goes the Sky Fury. Big zaps available. Does let him go and zap and Flamin as well as the succubus. Portals are being opened up. Leaping in. Trying to see if he can make a play. Big Thunder to fall and trinket out of Flamin. Does he have a way out of this one whatsoever? Light the Lasso right after. Does not have a trinket for this one. I think Chicago may just have him. Maybe Bear Blast. What does he get? A big crit. Mortical last second. Flamin does have himself reflect. Infernal coming down. Chicago does trick out of this one. Does it get in trouble? No! Big Hizball flying in. Doesn't do as much damage as I expected it to. That was a wall. That was a pre-wall. Does Chicago have the Maelstrom? They need one more lightning bolt, one more elemental blast. Flamin tried to go for, just dunking that thing from a mile away. Go for that elemental enhancement build. Jash up next. Stormbolt on Chicago does have a charge off for that knockback. With a big bleed, Chicago just burrowing his head in the ground, his head in the sand. Doesn't want to find out. Sunder, as Jazz does get a bit of a wombo combo, knocked up and just Sunder down. Let's go for this on Chicago as they do activate big damage with that Sky Fury together with the Guardian. Whatever damage and healing you do is also going to duplicate on you as well. And it's going to be Chicago taking a bit of damage as Jash got himself a little bit of pressure. Could go for big defensive. He still has an out for this one. Stormbolt is going to get knocked back. Does not have a way to reconnect with Chicago. Is going to go for the leap and a charge. Kind of committing both of those mobility abilities together all at once. Might want to separate them in the future. Definitely for sure. Because otherwise he's just going to run out of mobility. Especially if Chicago could break away from you. Chicago, wait until Maelstrom is back up. Then it's going to be a little bit more damage from Jash. As Maelstrom finally slowly coalescing around Chicago little by little. Can they make some damage happen here right now? Sky Fury at the ready. Does Jash check it out? Does not focus on it. Goes for defensive. Going to be a charge. Got himself Bloodthirst as well as Impended Victory. Going to be Lasso. Chicago trying to see if they can mitigate some damage. At least stay away from Jash while the big defense is available. Could turn around and maybe Bloodthirst the totem. Definitely needs to be Bloodthirsting these totems, especially while Enraged Regen is active, because it's just going to heal you. Irrelevant on how much damage you do to those totems. At least he's going to give you a heal. Disarm onto Chicago for just a second. Got him to reflect. Chicago's trying to see if he can hold back. Fire Raptors are back up. Could go for big Ellen Blast. Potentially big Lava Lashes. Could be a lot of damage. Josh trying to see if he can turn around. Big Avatar together with a bleed. Chicago may be in a bit of trouble. I think might just want to play it super slow and steady. Maybe even go for Ellen Blast from a distance. Trying to see if he can find an angle. Does get himself a lightning bolt. Potentially double lightning. Is going to be able to go for big damage. Sky Fury. It's going to be Stormbolt to follow. Does not send a lightning bolt just yet. Definitely needs to do it. Does not have the Maelstrom, but looks if it reflect up. Definitely don't want to send it. Raptors are in. Could go for Elebus at this point. I don't even know if you really need anything much. This Lightning Lasso would do it, yeah? Yeah, at this point, I think he was trying to see if he can maybe get a double Lightning Raptor, or at least one single Lightning Raptor, and then he can go for the double Lightning Bolt and just absolutely blast him. Gonna be Chicago versus Roth. I think Roth is just gonna give him as much of an auto as possible. Elaborate purple, me too. I'm gonna try it tonight. I'm gonna try it. It's all good reverence. I appreciate you joining, my guy. I do like it though. I think it looks fantastic. That in purple with the purple eyes of the weapon. Oh, I look good. I like it lots. Yeah. Chicago and C-Mark have dueled each other plenty. They have mutual respect for one another. Don't think it was too much of a rivalry or anything, but definitely the classes have been clashing before, right? The damage that the mages can do versus the counters that shamans have. It generally has been like a back and forth between the two. Big blast out of Chicago with a breath to follow. Knockback onto the shaman does get sent back, but this is where Rob wants to see if he can connect and make some damage happen. Trying to see if he can find himself a better angle. Gonna be Lightless, who does have a blink for it. Touches the magic onto Chicago. Needs to make sure he doesn't get interrupted. Gonna be a little bit of all the time to put him back up on top. He's gonna jump down and just try to see if he can keep drilling Chicago with his missiles to follow. Big arcade blast right after a ring of fire around the corner. He's gonna blast out to Chicago. It's gonna finally erupt and touch the magic. Not the most amount of damage. but he still was able to puncture through. Chicago Burrow right now, trying to see if he can find himself a better angle. Does not get to catch up to the mage whatsoever. Chicago kind of low on health at 38% dampening. Trying to go for a bit of recovery as Roth looking to get himself even more cooldown reduction. Chicago is going to take quite a bit of hits. Rob does have a touch of magic coming back up very, very soon. Only 30 seconds left on another one of those arcane surges. So should have a lot of damage right here. Knocking the shaman around as much as he can. Missiles while he's around the corner as much as possible. Touching magic. Lightning Lasso does have a blink for it. I think that's an ultra time too, so he's actually safe. As long as Chicago doesn't interrupt him, this could be really bad for Chicago. Big blast for Arcane. Barrage to follow right after. Trying to go for healing surge. Does he get interrupted? If he gets interrupted on the healing surge, he will be in a lot of trouble. Trying to go for big lightning bolt. Does he get the big zap? Barrage to follow. Chicago is alive. Sky Fever down for a second. Interrupt. I think it's over right now. As Rob just sees one more cast. Barrage does finish him off. Who's up next? Is it going to be potentially? Is it Death? It is going to be Death X as a sub rogue. Chicago, no, Seawork rather, still has a flame shock on him. So Death Sap will not be able to last super long. That is an assassination rogue. You have to be worried about his full burst it goes, but also Death Mark is going to be very, very deadly. Did he get hit with the fire? I think actually he Z-axes the fire. He was under the ring, so I don't think it even connected. Rob trying to see if he can go for shooting power. I almost went down for a Ring of Frost. Actually could have maybe placed it. I would have got the rogue out in the open. The rogue goes in, not a Garrote opener, I think a Rupture opener too. Polymer for follow. Rob is going to be taking out bleed damage, and if he can mitigate it somehow with shields, maybe he'll be okay. Got himself a little bit all the time. Knocking the rogue out in the open. Does he go for the shadow set? Does he have a way in? He's going to be Cloak of Shadows. Does have to use the big immunity. So for Rob, trying to see if he can maybe get himself a Ring of Frost. Does not go for it. Death Mark onto Rob. Could go for Ice Block right now. Might have actually been not a worse situation. Wait, does he get to blast out Death? Oh my god, hold on a second. Cheat Death does get blasted. Wait a second. Oh, Ice Block. Does he go down? Death lives. Death lives. Oh, Death ain't dead. Death does not succumb to death, at least not yet. As Roth trying to see if he can get himself a little bit of reset. Sap immediately as soon as he comes out of the Ice Block. If Death can go for... Does he not have a Garrote silence? I don't think he silences Garrote. What kind of a build is he then? I don't think he silences Garrote actually. Blind onto Rob does not go, does not even have a trinket for it. But Death's still taking a bit of damage though. That is super unfortunate. There's only so much he can really do right now. As Rob trying to go for big barrage, does it hit him? Oh! He's just almost dead. Oh my god. He just pressed a... Oh. He literally pressed evasion just so he could press something, anything at this point. It's just so rough. Thinking about rough. Gonna be Rev Dog up next. As Roth trying to see if he can find himself a better angle. Gotta worry about the succubus, but also fighting against Rev, maximizing the damage. Rev got himself Bonds of Fell. Arcane Surge for Roth. Lots of damage gonna be taken. Caught a lot of instant cast to follow. Big Reflect up. Good Roth Spell Stealer. Mortar Coil. Soulfire. He doesn't have an answer for this one. Succubus CC. Oh! That Succubus CC basically acts like a stun to skip CC, and you can't go for Massive Miss. Well done. Rev did not give him any opportunity. Made sure that it's very tight burst combo. Make sure the CC is perfectly lined up. Not giving Roth an opportunity. Well done overall though. Had a pretty big meatball and the configuration all at once connect together to make sure, again, there's no way for the mage to escape. I think Seawork only had mass invisibility at the end, right? I don't think he had any like big defensive. Gonna be Amarok trying to see if he can take down Rev Dog as he got a big cannons with the wall. He's gonna go for a tricky last second. Rev got himself reflect. Maybe he can reflect someone back to Amarok. Mortal Coil to follow with the Fury right after. Trying to see if he can lock him down with the Shadow Fury after. Cannonsbolt, is it gonna be another Bonds of Fell to follow? Does Amarok go down? Does break the Bonds of Fell, but he's gonna go for healing immediately. At 60% damage, this man can still heal. That is incredible. Hybrid classes. Lots of healing. Amarok trying to find himself a much better angle versus Rev. It's going to be Rev juking him out. Got himself yet another port. Darkback coming back in sometime soon. He's trying to find himself a better angle. Definitely needs to go for the Succubus CC. That's going to be a big Lava Burst in the ready. Amarok just needs a proc of Lava Burst and he could be over. Rev got himself the Darkback for a second. Maybe he can go for a stun around the corner. Big Lava Burst sent in, but it's going to be Succubus CC. Does he get himself a proper go here? Bonza fall right after Amarok. Does he leave? Oh, breaks it for a second. Hold on, he got ported. Oh, wait a second. Could be anyone's game. Oh! Wait, I think Rev won that one. No way. He did. Destruction Warlock just was not going to give up on that one whatsoever. Chicago with 2. Roth with 2 doing 3 million damage. Chicago with 4.7 million damage. Conan absolutely blasting the 2. Absolutely. I have no idea how he survived the frost image, but it's so close. He did it though. My goodness. And I think everybody got to play, right? Maybe like one person didn't get to play, but most got to play? Or am I wrong on that? Hope I'm not wrong. Hopefully everybody got to play there. My goodness. That was a hell of a game, dude. That's a way to finish out the night, honestly. That was awesome. Chat, thank you so much for joining me tonight. This has been an absolutely fantastic experience, dude. These duels have been awesome. I enjoyed living the hell out of these, man. These have been awesome, awesome, awesome. I loved every moment of it. This has been fantastic. Thank you all so much for joining, Flame, and thanks so much for hosting the group, my guy. I appreciate you. Chicago, as per usual, thanks so much for helping out as well. Also very much appreciated. That's so awesome of you guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Seriously. Great night, dude. Great night. Fantastic evening. I enjoyed the hell out of this one. GG's. Thank you all so much for joining me, boys. I really do appreciate ya. Next week, we're going to be doing more of these. Friday, Saturday. Actually, so Friday is going to be weird because it's going to be Diablo. I don't know how that's going to go at all. I imagine a lot of people will be playing Diablo. I guess we will still host duels. But man, it's going to be a little bit rough for the next few weeks because I imagine a lot of people are going to try to give Diablo grind a go. I thought Shem had me. Dude, you did not give up at all. It was close. I think you porting him as just trying to get a heal was actually perfect. It was actually the play. GG's everyone, it was a shame. Fun shamans are something else. Dude, shamans are definitely something else. If you haven't played a shaman right now, they're pretty good for PvP. Enhancement and elemental. Both can do quite a bit of damage right now. Fantastic control. Good damage. Pretty consistent too, I'd say. That's a good healing as well. You will be dead next Friday because the launch night. Yeah. Like, do we even host duels? Right? Do we even host duels or do we just skip? Right? Do we just skip? Because I don't know, man. I'm just trying to rip them out of bonds and hope to crit. Dude, yeah. Did it crit? I don't even know if it did. But I think breaking that cast definitely was the play. Because at least he was going to put in a weird spot, then he kind of had to reposition and then jump down, and then you just kind of have to, whatever instacast you got, just got to start firing him off as fast as you can, whatever you got afterwards. It was so clutch. It was ridiculously clutch. All done either way though. Yeah, so I'll need to think about it, Jake. I'll need to think about it for sure. Maybe we'll do a Diablo stream ourselves. I know that the channel's only like a WoW channel, so I know if I do like a Diablo thing, I don't think anyone's really going to be watching. Maybe like day one we'll have a couple of you boys join in for it. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll definitely have to think about it. Man, is it worldwide launch too? Because if it's a worldwide launch, then yeah, I think it's going to be WoW. It's going to be pretty barren for at least a good week. 4 months, I'll watch. Maybe, right? Maybe. I'll think about it, man. I usually don't stay around for duels, but that was a good night. Yeah, Shay, thanks so much for hanging out, man. I know it's really busy or really late on EU, man. So I appreciate you for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed these duels. I had a lot of fun tonight, man. I hope you enjoyed them as well. Chat, you guys are wonderful, beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. Your haircut looks great, Dal. Dude, Hannah. Hey, how's it going? I'll just get it short on the side. That's all I do, man. I try to go for like a full hawk. How'd you like it? It's so nice though. My god, dude. I can't do long hair anymore. Like even slightly long, right? Even if it's like I never had long hair, like going down to shoulders or whatever. Never had that long hair. But I never minded when it's just really busy up top. Ever since I started doing like the fades on the side and just keeping it short in general, not even going for fade, I can't. When it gets even a little long, dude, I can't. I'm exaggerating it here, most likely. But it literally starts to feel, when it gets a little too long, it starts to feel like there's heat trapped all around my head. And I just have to get rid of it. Yeah, dude. No, summer in particular, especially where I live, oh my god, it gets brutal. This is just the beginning and it's gonna get worse. Yeah. But even like when it's not hot too, like I'd rather like have a freeze and chill in the back of my head than like just even be mildly not cold, I guess. Even like a winter. What's wrong with long hair? I really got a long ass hair. I don't know, man. Nothing is wrong with it. Like nothing is wrong with it. I just can't deal with it. I guess the best way to put it, right? I just can't deal with it. I never really had like super long hair, but like ever since I started getting like super short on the sides and the back, dude, I just gotta keep it short. That's all I gotta do. Otherwise, it just doesn't feel good, dude. It doesn't even matter like if it looks good. It just doesn't even feel good. It gets wicked humid here. It gets pretty bad humid in here too. Southern US, tell me about it. Dude, oh my god, it's so bad over here. Humidity, like even the heat isn't that bad, is the humidity that really makes it so much worse. Because this is bad here, dude. We got swamps and stuff. Not a lot of swamps, but we definitely got like a big swampy area. There's a lot of wetlands here. And it's kind of by the beach. There's a lot of like water life in here. It's not quite Florida, but they definitely quite a bit of swamps. Enough swamplands and wetlands that during a hurricane, it just sucks it up like a sponge, so we don't get that much flooding. But it's not like super bad. But yeah, it's humid. It's so humid. I would love one day of just heat, no humidity. I don't think I've ever had heat, no humidity, but I think I'd probably be more bearable than just humidity, because it just makes so much. Like, you can have mildly good weather, but humidity just makes everything so much worse, so much damp. Main prod view for her PP. You ever in American servers give me a holla? Did I? Yeah, dude, my man, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we did this on US servers today, Parth. Actually, you might want to join us. But yeah. Libby DK, long hair makes me feel like I'm trying to get around all the time because it's always raining. Yeah, so it's always raining for you guys, but is it like cold rain or is it like one of those warm rains? Because you ever been in like that rain where it's just a warm rain droplets that it feels like you're just getting like, you're just covered in, it feels like, I'm not even gonna lie, it feels like you're covered in sweat. It's just like warm rain, but when you're drenched with it, you feel like you're not even covered in water, you're just covered in sweat. God, it's just sweating above. You're just like, oh, now we have to deal with it. If it's cold rain, at least it's like can be kind of refreshing, and it makes everything cold around you, so it's kind of nice. But yeah, hella depending on the time of year. Okay, so it can get really like the warm. Yeah, not a fan. Down nice round. Hell yeah, Parth. Next week, my guy. Next week, join. I'll let you know how to join up because we have the group listed on LFG, and everyone can join in. It's 64 right now. Are you kidding me? What's weather is it where I'm at? It's evening. What is it right now? Oh, 67 right now, so it's not too bad then. But like, ah, man. I guess it's not that bad. It's only gonna get worse though. It's gonna get like 80-degree nights. Oh. I'm not excited. I'm kind of hoping somehow, some way this summer just ends up being like one of the cooler summers. But it's only getting started. It's only getting started. It's only getting started. I'm just trying to be mentally prepared for it because it's just gonna be madness. Gungeon 19 full SC build survival trip. Yo, I mean, do you have a single target build? I guess you have to go like coordinated and go for like the kill shot thing, right? For cleave. Yeah, I'll need to play around with it. I gotta start gearing some of my alts and getting some dungeons on them as well. I also gotta get my time walking done this week on a handful of characters. I think it's gonna be helpful to get some of the items from the raid, like some of my low level characters too. Some trinkets or whatever will be fantastic. But yo, everybody, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. You guys are wonderful, beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope every one of you enjoyed the 5v5 duels this evening. I'm gonna head out, get myself some food, and try to see if I can game tonight. I finally got my rogue with some best slot items. Next reset, I make myself a belt, and I'm perfectly business slotted. We're golden, we're chilling, we're happy. And the only thing I can get afterwards is maybe like item level upgrades on a lot of my other pieces. But yeah, and like I started working on my ults and started just really working on the progression in the raid and whatnot. I think Sunday we're going to be trying to overtime, Monday maybe as well, just to see if we can kill Magmarix, just so we can get good ranking. Because at this point, like, it's Natharian, and then it's Sarkareth, and we're done. And it's an opportunity for us to maybe go for like Hall of Fame. Actually, a chance for us to go for a solid Hall of Fame ranking. But yo, thank you so much. You guys are wonderful, beautiful. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see all of you guys in the next stream. Alrighty. You guys have a good one. See you tomorrow. I plan on streaming tomorrow. Alright, peace.